All right. Do your pre-intro.
All right. Damn, I just lost. I had it for a second and lost it.
I'm gonna be like them, my students, and
I'd
moan
be
during the middle of this
stroking.
presentation.
I'll be booking.
Welcome to Book It, a wrestling podcast where we book and revisit your favorite wrestling storylines. I'm your commissioner, Hi-Fi Mike, and today I have your GMs Damone, D-Money Allen.
Just a reminder that TCW won week 2 and is currently in the lead.
Primetime Travie T.
Hey, things are looking good for Kenny's show because I just beat my meat something vicious and I'm in a good mood. And a side note, an unrelated side note. Did you guys know?
Hey, yo, drop the
Alina
link
was
to the
a
vid.
stripper?
Little Fudge.
How am I supposed to follow that?
Bad guy.
I don't even know what to say. I
I win!
Yep, you win.
hey, y'all see that thread on Twitter about guys who go to porn conventions? And how they got the like dead ass stares in the eyes? You know, they're taking a picture.
John goes to porn conventions and cosplays.
He cosplayed as Lena Paul.
The first
They be putting her through it too. That's what I'm like.
All right, so this week we've got
Damone went with him as Naomi Banks.
I'm her stunt double like Ms. Dow.
That's wild.
That means
All
John
right.
be taking the pounding.
That's what I said. That's wild.
All right.
I use
All
stunt
right.
ass. I use stunt ass.
This week we've got DPW's When Worlds Collide, right?
It's just Worlds
Worlds
Collide.
Collide.
Just Worlds
It's
Collide.
Worlds
The
Collide.
song
All right.
we start off.
This is what it's like when worlds collide. All
Kenny,
right.
Kenny,
Wasn't
maybe
that
you
on,
should
like,
go to
SmackDown
rap.
Shut Your Mouth.
This is
So-
yes,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
that
It was on the first
Yeah.
SmackDown vs. Raw.
All right, so this is the official beginning to round 3.
Yep. First pay-per-view for DPW.
So we're just gonna go ahead. If you haven't listened to any of the Book It Verse stuff, you can either go back to the beginning of this series, you can go back to the beginning of the last one, you can go back to the first one. If you're really bold, you can go all the way back and see how we got here.
Yeah, because me and Damone been doing Book It Verse. Y'all just didn't know.
Right, except with an open roster.
Yeah, if you think about it. Really,
It was this, but with an open roster, and there was a lot of stuff that was yada yada yada. It really got intense when we would all book together. It took 8 parts to book John Cena to heel. So if you haven't listened to that, go listen to that because that's when I was trying out a soundboard, and it was not fun.
And when I fucking cursed, me and Travis got into a 20-minute argument about the theme.
I feel like a soundboard would be funny. How did that go wrong?
I didn't know how to use the mixer well.
So you just play a fart noise and a lag for 20 seconds.
Well, and then we switched over to StreamYard. Like, I would get things, but then we switched over to StreamYard and we just started doing it a different way.
Understood.
But
there's too much experimentation on air for that.
there was. But that's how you get there sometimes. All right.
But you could do it beforehand. That's also an option.
Yeah, they could have, but we were busy at that time. Anyways.
I've never been busy a day in my life.
This is an act of racism. Y'all put this one up there. Mike thinks they look the same.
No, that's StreamYard. I just pressed the button.
He blaming StreamYard.
It's because the mode was in the first spot.
All right. Well, this is DPW Worlds Collide. And we are at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. We get a camera cut to the Worlds Collide stage as pyro goes off and Worlds Collide by Power Man 5000 plays as we get a clip montage of the superstars and various highlights of the respective shows.
That is what it's like when worlds collide.
So they're just doing flips and slamming each other and stuff. So yeah, it's lit, the intro. Let me see. The themed arena has 2 worlds crashing into each other as the logo. Half of the stage is red, representing Monday Night Madness, and then half the stage is blue, representing Thursday Night Throwdown.
Oh, did you do this? Who
It's
did
like
that?
heaven and hell, kind of.
No, it's like the cover of SmackDown vs. Raw, the game in which this music is literally in.
He was playing SmackDown versus Raw, so
This
you
man
know
been
how.
playing this game too much.
No, honestly, no, that's not what I was thinking.
Next
of.
year,
Yeah.
Worlds Collide's theme is just gonna be Vince McMahon's face with one red eye.
Yeah, so this is the first pay-per-view where Monday Night Madness and Thursday Night Throwdown join together in the festivities. We have an 8-man Money in the Bank match to start off the show. So let's get right to it. Since the brand's main titles will be defended and unified later on the night, DiBiase Jr. wants to showcase other talent. Showcase who will potentially be our world champion. This will be decided in a Money in the Bank ladder match. The winner will get a shot at the unified titles at any time they please. Montez Ford was officially replaced in the match by Loki due to his fate being determined for injuring Two Cold Scorpio weeks back with his reverse Death Valley driver. And Loki's been rising up the ranks too as well. So shut up. So
We want Montez.
You really had him saying all that shit just to get taken out of the match?
Hey, he gotta get taken out, man. He get taken out. So Ricochet comes out in a gold chain with red tights with fly boys on the side and gold with gold kick pads and red. So he front flips out as the crowd cheers and he high-fiving people on the way there. Darby Allin is sitting in the locker room with Alexa Bliss. They both lean in for a kiss and then stop and then smile at each other and she pulls back.
They're the couple that hisses at you in the hallway.
Yeah, they're weird. So then they stop and just smile at each other and she pulls them back and she's like, "Get him, Darby," and starts cracking up.
It.
And then,
I actively hate this match.
I don't. I
You're at
hate
a 0.5
that so
right
much.
now.
So he walks out determined. Kyle O'Reilly comes out in blue camo trunks with blue camo knee pads and boots. He has a chef apron.
Ugliest fucking matchup.
He has a chef apron on as well as he does.
Why?
Is it Blue Lives Matter camo?
No, it's blue camo.
Wait. Did you say he comes out wearing a chef?
Who is it?
Mike, what kind of camo comes in blue?
I don't know. I think Navy has blue, but I'll be honest, I don't know.
Thought you were the camo man.
No, I'm not. I know like 3 patterns of camo.
That's 3 more than I know.
And it's the
Damon, don't you remember him going on a long ass rant about camo?
Yes,
and it was only those 3.
How much is there to talk about?
I think
there's a lot of
there's
camos.
blue,
I only
like-
know 3.
I think it's polar because like I remember being as a kid I used to be into that shit because I think it was
Get him, guys.
SVR 06 had like 17
y'all are a
different
fucking
options.
y'all
It
are
got
a
real
fucking
white
different
in
brand.
here.
I was saying y'all are a different
know.
brand of white person.
Yeah, the boys round here.
I know Woodland, I know Digiflora, and I know AOR1.
Are those Pokemon? What the?
I know I caught a
Oh, and
Digiflora on
multicam.
Pokemon Go for sure.
That's a Digimon character.
Well, that's his.
That's a
anyway,
Bakugan.
that's his outfit in what you call it in WWE 2K22 anyway.
Who is it?
The blue camo, Kyle O'Reilly.
What about the fucking chef's
Okay.
apron? You never
Yeah,
explained
the
that.
chef's apron is the problem.
It's not, but it's different though. It's different. He goes over. He's like, about to eat.
Oh no!
Because
Hey,
like
is his
that.
gimmick fucking Guy Fieri?
Then
He's too
Loki
white
comes
to be
out.
saying I'm about to eat.
He's like, about to eat.
That's
Loki-
Travis's catchphrase too.
Damn it. Loki
Good one.
comes out in yellow tights with black boots. You know, it's Travis' favorite wrestler. Kevin Owens comes out in a cut-off black T-shirt that says KO in white with black shorts and black boots.
I know who I'm rooting for.
Wait, what's cut off? The bottom or the sleeves?
The sleeves.
Oh, I thought
No.
you had him come out in your belly
The
shirt.
fucking crop.
No,
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 no.
in a cutoff.
Okay,
Hey,
now
I've been thinking about coming out in crop tops. When I'm in Oklahoma City, I'm wearing nothing but crop tops, even to the wedding.
Homer Simpson.
we gonna flame you for that.
Cesaro
I'm scared
comes
of
out.
y'all.
Cesaro comes out in black trunks with purple trim, purple shooting sleeve, and black kick pads with black boots. So he's in his old Kings of Wrestling outfit. John Moxley comes out as Wild Thing plays. He has black jeans on, black boots, and the Ricky Vaughn
Does he come
baseball
through
jersey.
the ramp or does he come through the crowd?
He comes through the crowd. The
Okay.
crowd. And then a church choir is playing tambourines in all white. A very eccentric choir director and singing "Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me." And it's really
We
bad.
now owe the Catholic Church $20.
It's fucking Jake Roberts.
And then the choir director turns around. The choir director turns around, moving his hood, and it's real to be Nice Pac. He turns around and singing badly. I once was lost, but now I'm found.
God damn.
Was blind.
I really
but now I
had
see.
high hopes for the show,
Like,
and then you started talking.
That literally.
No, I'm like a nice buck. That just saved you like $1 here.
So he's singing badly. Nice Pac removes the top, revealing a white tights and a white dress shirt that's open. And he's catching the Holy Spirit dancing obnoxiously as the crowd's booing him. Nice Pac gets on the mic and says, "Before we start the match, I have something to say." Crowd boos even more. He says, "I'm here to cleanse DPW of the bad guys. Some of you here are on the wrong side of the morality line. I'm here to help you out. Victoria, cue the slideshow." We see Victoria in a production truck. She's irritated. She presses the button. He's like, "There's me." We see a picture of X-Pac looking sad on the screen. Sad, aimless, cheating to win. That's no way to live. Then the pic changes to him happy. He's like, "Now look at me. Happy. Changed man. After I single-handedly solved the sexism crisis here in America, I dedicated my life to changing everything good." Crowd boos him even more now. The pic changes to the same exact pic, but it's a terribly photoshopped Money in the Bank case in his hand now and terribly photoshopped glasses on him as well. "This will be me tonight, cool as a cucumber after I get the Money in the Bank briefcase and use my newfound fame to reach new heights and help cleanse the world as I become the DPW undisputed champion." So the crowd's booing like crazy now. But honestly, guys, even though I will be taking home the Money in the Bank, you are all winners in my eyes. We see Victoria in the truck rolling her eyes and leaves. Nice Pac has his arms up as the crowd boos. He goes to shake Moxley's hand, but then gets stiff punched by Moxley as the crowd cheers and the bell rings. Everyone in the matches starts stomping him out, and he rolls out of the ring holding his back. So now we're going to get to the spots. That's how the match starts. So Cesaro does like a big swing party, but gets stopped by a chop block from Loki. Nice Pac runs at Cesaro, but gets flipped on his back and is put in a big swing as well. After he's tossed, Nice Pac gets up and runs at him, and Cesaro hits him with a UFO now. And Nice Pac is like walking around Disney. He's like swinging at the air like he's like being obnoxious with the selling, and he drops. At one point, Nice Pac does a triangle plancha to Kevin Owens and Cesaro outside of the ring. At one point, Kyle O'Reilly does a belly-to-belly suplex to the ladder in the corner to Darby Allin. At one point, Loki is on the ground. Darby Allin grabs Loki by the ankles and goes backwards and tries to like toss him into the corner. But Loki lands on the second top rope and then does the springboard foot stamp to his chest while Darby's on the ground. At one point, Moxley and Cesaro are fighting up on the top of the ladder. Cesaro gets headbutt by Moxley, and Mox puts him in between his legs for a pile driver and leans all the way back with him until they fall off the ladder, and does like a super pile driver pretty much as the crowd chants "Holy shit!" as he looks on, chewing his gum with a smirk on his face. At one point, the two ladders are in like an M like formation like this. So Kevin Owens and Nice Pac are both climbing ladders at the same time. Like in the middle, and they get into a punch exchange, and it ends with an elbow from Kevin Owens and puts Nice Pac into a package pile driver, and they go flying onto ladders as well. At one point, Kevin Owens does a pop-up powerbomb to Moxley onto the apron. Ricochet does a running shooting star clothesline off the apron to Darby outside of the ring. Cesaro spots Nice Pac while he's on the ladder, turns his body and does like a diving European uppercut off the second highest step of the ladder. At one point, Kevin Owens bridges the ladder onto the ropes and the other ladder that is up in the middle of the ring. While Loki and Kevin Owens are fighting at the top of the ladder, Loki gives Kevin Owens a stiff kick to the head while they're on the ladder, and Kevin Owens headbutts him while Loki's groggy. Owens suplexes him off, and they both hit the bridge ladder. At one point, Kyle O'Reilly's sitting on the turnbuckle facing the crowd. Loki does a dragon sleeper, like up top, then rolls backwards with him, and he lands on his chest real hard, and then continues to do the dragon sleeper. And he's doing that until he gets super kicked by Nice Pac. At one point, Nice Pac is in the tree of woe, and he's begging and pleading and apologizing as Loki climbs the turnbuckle, and he hits the diving foot stamp to his chest, and the crowd goes crazy. At one point, Ricochet does a double moonsault off the turnbuckle to everyone on the outside. And then we got near the end, Cesaro is grabbing at the briefcase. Loki sees this and rapidly climbs the ladder. Loki's punching at his stomach until Cesaro elbows him. Loki is dazed, and Cesaro reaches for the belt. Loki roundhouse kicks him, and Cesaro falls backwards, but his leg gets caught on the ladder steps. He's in a tree of woe, and Loki reaches for the ladder, then stops. Reaches for the briefcase and stops. And as he looks around, the crowd's excited. He goes for the diving foot stamp again, but Cesaro contorts his body out the way, and Loki misses him, and his foot goes through the bottom ladder step. And he's holding his ankles as EMTs help him out of the ring. At one point, Ricochet is climbing the ladder. He grabs at the belt, but Moxley pushes the ladder. Ricochet is still hanging from it, and as the crowd is cheering, the crowd gets even louder when Kevin Owens climbs the turnbuckle. He's looking at Ricochet, and Ricochet shakes his head no, and Owens does a diving dropkick to Ricochet as DPW chants fill the arena. Then at one point, the ladder's bridged on the apron and barricade. Kyle O'Reilly pushes the ladder over, and Moxley flies over the ropes and breaks the ladder in half. And Nice Pac misses the entire ladder and smacks the barricade and knocks him out. And we see Kyle O'Reilly climb the ladder slowly, reach for the briefcase, and pull it down. The crowd cheers as he sits on the ladder and holds it up as the blood is running down his eyebrow and onto his cheek. Ted DiBiase Jr. comes out and slow claps as Kyle O'Reilly is holding the briefcase, because they've had the beef before when he told him you're going to fall in line. So this is kind of like a slow burn with those two.
I don't have my number just yet, but I do have a couple comments.
Okay.
Just kind of drop now. Out of all the people you could have chosen to win, you chose the fucking Chef Boyardee, Kyle O'Reilly.
Chef O'Reilly.
God, I don't like that. And also I know that Money in the Banks don't have heavy builds, but you kind of said I can't get roasted for a build if I don't have one. You didn't even do some qualifiers, nothing. So I am gonna roast a little bit for that, but I'm gonna come back to you with a number.
Yeah, I agree with John on everything he just said, and also I hated like all of the people in this match. Not everybody, but like most of them. Like,
Yeah, I feel like you could.
and I will say,
people.
I'm not gonna knock you for the people you have. Like you use the people how you use them, and it is what it is. I don't like the Chef Boyardee gimmick. I don't know what the fuck that's all about.
Yeah,
I
hate that.
I don't like that. I don't like Kyle O'Reilly as it is. You also, I don't understand his character.
They're gonna get into it more as the show goes on. You'll see. You'll see.
Well, apparently it's gonna be world champion Chef Boyardee, Kyle O'Reilly. So
I hate that. I think you're doing the same thing to X-Pac that I did to Dean Malenko, but not as big of a jump here. I don't think he has as much charisma as you're giving him.
I do. I absolutely heard all of that in Xbox voice.
I know you
just
did.
watched
You
Xbox
think, you think Xbox the GOAT, and I'm sick of you. I'm not talking to you.
But Nice Pac does have a lot of
Mike is
charisma, so he can play.
dumbfounded
He can be obnoxious. It's not hard for him to be obnoxious. He's
I'm-
obnoxious in DX.
Nice
Right.
Box isn't a real person.
Well,
I know.
You made that man up. Again, I'm not knocking you for it. These are just notes. These aren't going to affect my score.
well, you can knock it for his repackages of certain characters.
No, that's fine. You can knock it for that. I'm just
no, I
saying.
mean, I think the character. I don't like the character, but I don't think I'm not going to judge you on the ability to perform that character. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I need some time. I need to hear somebody else.
All
I
right.
don't know where I'm at.
So here, I'm. Damone, do you want to go?
You can go. I don't have I'm stuck between two numbers.
All right. So I hated the thing earlier with Darby Allin.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I hated that, but once, and then I hated the beginning of the Nice Pac thing. But once I started hearing it, I actually really liked it.
That was the best part. Was
I
Nice
like
Pac was
the
the
match.
best part.
Hold on, I like the match. I thought the match was good. I personally don't think I like Kyle O'Reilly winning when I think that you had better talent in that.
Everybody was a
Cool.
better talent in that.
And you
match.
could, yes, you have that going on with you had that. You could have replaced. You could easily replace Kyle O'Reilly with anyone in that kind of storyline. So there's that. I'm going with a 4.5.
4.5. Thank you.
I really like the match. After
Okay.
everything, after the Nice Pac stuff until the end.
Okay, I have
I'm
a
gonna be a
question.
hater.
Is Montez Ford involved on this card somewhere later?
No, he's pretty much banned from the event.
Yeah.
What'd you build him for then?
For
You'll see.
later.
Like I
It's a
said, you'll
slow
see.
build.
You'll see. It's like I said. It all comes together.
It's a
You'll
slow
see.
burn, man.
Nah, fuck that.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that you took him out of the match. Like, I wish you just didn't tell me he was gonna be in this match.
I think he could have been
Um,
involved somehow.
I
No,
also
he's still in
agree.
the picture.
I think the wrong person won. Like, I think I would have rather Nice Pac won. I
No,
would have
Nice Pac
rather-
had to lose that. He was too arrogant to win that.
I know that's why
I'd
you
rather
should have
see,
won.
a Cesaro
No, that's
or
not
a
why I
Kevin
should have
Owens
won.
Oh,
That's
or-
the
Cesaro.
absolute opposite. He needs to come in with a big head and then get his ass kicked.
Well, it didn't need to be Kyle O'Reilly. There was a better
it didn't
choice.
need to be. Yeah, it could have been.
Who wrote this, Mike or Kenny? Because Mike is
I was thinking about it the entire time. Because at first I was
Mike
the same.
is a
I was
lover.
like,
He's the opposite of a hater.
I was like, nice Pac should win this because he made such a big deal. And then I thought more about it. I'm like, no, because he's being too arrogant, and it's better to see him get his ass kicked.
He didn't really get his. It was a Money in the Bank. I wouldn't say he necessarily got his comeuppance.
I'm sure stuff.
He got stomped out. And he had a bunch of spots that happened to him.
And I'm sure there's stuff in between that we're not seeing because he's just giving us the spots.
Yeah, but it's a Money in the Bank. It's like he's losing.
You can still get your ass kicked in Money in the Bank.
Well, yeah, everybody technically does, but I think you picked the wrong person to win. Like, even if it wasn't Nice Pac, I would have rather KO.
I would have went KO.
Or Cesaro would have been better.
Yeah.
Keeping
Montez
KO
when I had KO for 2 fucking shows and nobody.
He's better than Kyle O'Reilly. Is the point.
Even
I honestly
Kevin Owens better than Kyle O'Reilly.
I didn't even remember you had the Kyle O'Reilly and thing with Ted DiBiase at all.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
until you like pointed it out.
It was a quick one. I forgot to. I was going to put that in the beginning, but I was like, I felt like if I had did that, you would have been like, okay, he's for sure winning, like that kind of thing.
I think
it would have.
It's pretty much Ted DiBiase is buying everybody out, but the one person he couldn't for a buyout was him, because when he went to guest commentary in the match, he's like, he literally walks up to him, he's like, "You're gonna fall in line." That's what he tells him, and he's just kind of like, "All right." He's kind of like,
I wish you had, because that would have helped solve kind of what John talked about, where there was pretty much no build. It was pretty much just
there was no build. There
was no build. Montez Ford isn't in the match, and it's Money in the Bank.
And
like you didn't have any.
It's not going to be a huge build, but
I didn't need like a super qualifiers or something. You could have had Brock getting his ass beat by everybody to qualify. Yeah,
the jobber.
No, he's done. He's done here. He got murdered on my show pretty much.
The match gimmick infringement. The match is good though, so I'm gonna give you a 3.75.
3.75. Okay.
Yeah, me and Trav supposed to look bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, John, you go first. I'll see how low you are.
Oh man, I want to see how low you were, because I don't want to be the hater anymore, man. I'm trying to change my ways.
Because if you come high, I'll come high. But if you go with the number I think you're coming with, then I'll go with the number I want to give.
I'm trying to change my ways, Kenny. I'm really sorry.
John is the one. John is the person that books.
I've done.
John's the person that books crazy shit, but then when anyone else tries to book anything crazy or weird or different, he rates it low.
He has no build, exactly.
It's not crazy shit. If you
this isn't Book It Verse 1 anymore. You can't get away with just having good spots and just call it a 4.5 or 3.75. That's bullshit.
If he had fucking had the ring explode or something, I'd be like, yeah. Like I like crazy shit.
If this match would have happened in a swamp with a exploding bounce house,
yes, instant 5. But no, this is fucking Kyle O'Reilly in an apron winning a Money in the Bank match with no qualifiers
while wearing Blue Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Garb.
I forgot about. Actually, make it a 3 point. Make it a 3.6 for me. I forgot about the apron. I hate the fucking apron.
I hate most of these gimmicks, and the people without gimmicks, really, like Kevin Owens and like Cesaro, are the people I like in this match. Because the people with gimmicks, I don't like what they were given. I feel so bad, but I don't like the Flyboys. I don't like this hissing couple. I don't like fucking Chef Blue Lives Matter, Kyle O'Reilly. I like Nice Pac, and he's getting you like $1 of this. Like, there's a whole $1 of this that I'm giving you that's going to Nice Pac. I gotta be. All right, I'm gonna.
Give him
do
a
it.
score.
Do
give
it.
a score. Just give a score.
You pull the band-aid.
I'm gonna give you a 2.5.
Okay.
Travis.
Okay, I don't feel
And
that.
and $1 of that is Nice Pac.
So here's what I'll say. The good things are, I thought the Nice Pac thing is starting to grow on me. I do think it's a little iffy, because I feel like you took what AEW should have done with Cody Rhodes and just did that with X-Pac.
You did, but I wanted them to do it with Cody, so.
Yeah, I was not going to do that at all.
It feels like Cody ended racism, and Nice Pac ended sexism. Like it just feels the same thing.
Is Travis's mic super loud for anyone else?
Yeah,
You're a little too close to it.
Me?
No, I don't think
Yeah.
it's close. Yeah, you're super loud.
My mic is over here.
Oh.
No, I understand, but
kinda
it like
spiked,
clipped and then it started being loud.
All right, try.
no, I can't hear you at all.
Can't hear you at all.
Now
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
Better.
no,
I'm good.
better.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we said, no, there's no build. I hated a couple of things. I hated that you took Montez Ford out of this match. I hated that you replaced him with bum-ass Loki.
Duh.
I hated that you had Kyle O'Reilly win. I hated that you brought Kyle O'Reilly out with a fucking apron on. And I was not mildly annoyed. I was absolutely disgusted by Darby Allin and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, they're supposed to make you uncomfortable because that's how it was before when they were in the bar, being weird.
I don't like it. I'm sick of this.
Actually, I
I'm sick
would
of
have rather Darby have fucking won over Kyle O'Reilly because at least
Yeah.
he had like some.
That's the second
Build.
worst option.
this.
It's a bad option, but it's better. than what
They
you
were
did.
all bad options.
Besides
He gave
the
us
two
a
people with
match full
gimmicks.
of bad options. Yeah, Cesaro and Kevin Owens and John Moxley were the only good options. Yeah, I'll be right there with John. I'm gonna give you 2.5. I don't think that it wasn't atrocious. Your match saved you, but I can't give you too much more than that with no build.
Okay, that's the only one that has no build like that.
Okay, good.
I had to,
Good, thank
I had
God.
to fight to give it that
Yeah, the rest of
much.
it, is a lot of build. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I suppressed the hate. So
I suppressed the hate a little bit too. So you're welcome,
Yeah.
Kenny.
It was just
Happy birthday.
one of those things where it was just like I don't know. I feel like it was a
remember
little
that
harder
next week.
to build that for the Money in the Bank.
Oh, speaking of which, John,
Qualifying
happy birthday.
matches.
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
happy
happy
birthday.
Remember
John.
that
Yeah,
next
happy
week
birthday.
too.
Are you doing a build?
Yeah,
Right
I'm about to start now.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so
What?
I was gonna go see if I had time to go get some water, but I don't.
I
Okay.
mean, you want to do an ad real quick, or
What you should, what you need to go do, Mike, is go get a raise.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Are you tired? Tired of those other energy drinks hitting you with a short burst of jittery energy, followed by a crash that leaves you with less energy than you had before? Well, fear not, because Ray's energy drinks are specifically formulated to get you going without making you jittery and keeps you from crashing. With 0 sugars, 0 calories, and better caffeine than a cup of coffee, Ray's energy drinks are the #1 growing energy drink on the market. With flavors like Baja Lime, Sour Gummy Worm, Guava Mango, and Strawberry Colada, Ray's has some of the best tasting energy drinks available. You can get a case of Ray's right now by going to repsports.com and using promo code T1THREE when you check out to take 15% off of your next order. That's promo code T1THREE for 15% off of your next order of better, tastier energy.
And what you also should do is go buy some shit from Organic Lovin' because you need to love each other.
Fuck it right in the pussy.
I forgot about him,
kind of like Nice Pac. Loves everybody.
bro.
Your body and the bodies you're loving deserve nothing but the best. Organic Lovin' is the only adult subscription box that includes eco-friendly body products, from body-safe adult toys to sex-positive books and erotic seminars. Organic Lovin's online store has everything you and your partner or partners could ever need to heat things up. And right now, your friends at T13 Media want to take 10% off of your next order. Just go to organiclovin.com and use promo code T1THREE like the sound the bed makes when you check out. Organic Lovin'. Love organically, purely, deeply, boldly.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So week 1, we saw the real ones cheat to beat RK Owens with brass knuckles. So week 2, Jack Evans and Angelico, their name is TH2. I didn't change their name, so that's their official name in AEW. Is TH2, the Hybrid 2. Have come from a rival company to beat the Legion of Doom in a tornado tag match with a flying drop kick from Angelico and a 630 from Jack Evans. Real ones are on commentary in the match, and after the win, we see Jack Evans point at the Real ones and do a little like title motion taunt with his waist. Rick Rude gets up pissed and calls for a mic. He gets on the mic and says, "Nobody beats us. especially 2 cruiserweights. We're the rude ones, part-time head turners, full-time jaw droppers, and we have no time for the BS. We are the elite superstars, not you 2 scrawny bitches. Don't boo. You should be lucky enough to be in our presence. I'm not going to play any games with these bitches from these other companies either. We are the hottest commodity in sports entertainment. I know you see this on your big booty TVs because you aren't making any real money. Now wipe the dust and bed bugs off your televisions, strap yourself in, and watch a real, ruthless, ravaging wrestler talk on a damn microphone. There is nothing we can't do. Not only can I wrestle better than half the wrestlers on the other brands, but I look good doing it. Rick Rude, Miss Elizabeth, and I are 10s. The best looking female in PTC is Layla. And if she stepped foot in this company, she would be a 3 and a possible at best here. Check it off. Elizabeth checks off her clipboard. Says, yeah, check it off, Miss Elizabeth. Underneath the trifling section. Rick Rude grabs the mic and says, we take what we want. And after we take Lex Luger, we want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you next week. Sorry, I stuttered. Hulk Hogan and Lex Luger are next on the list. So he's cracking up laughing as he passes the mic back to Robert. Sorry, my partner has the occasional speech impediment. Last thing we have to say before you watch us leave, and you have the pleasure to see our rear ends leave this godforsaken place. I just want to say AWW, BBW, PTC, RCW, the stage is set. The greatest tag team in the world is issuing an open challenge. There is no one that can beat the Rude Ones. So TH2 still get out of the ring smiling, cheering on their win as the Rude Ones look at them.
Time out. Who is AWW?
Hey, they talking their shit. They calling it different now.
Okay, that's one to know.
So TH2
A&W root beer.
Yeah. So TH2 beat the team of Angel Garza and Humberto on week 3, and week 3 Hulk Hogan and Lex Luger lose to the Rude Ones with the Rude Ones cheating to win with brass knuckles. GM.
Not my Hogan.
Sounded like a proud boyfriend. I feel you. GM General Manager Vince McMahon notices this and says TH2 has earned a spot at the titles and they will defend their titles next week against the Rude Ones. The Rude Ones come out and Robert Roode says they would be we'll be open to defend their title next week, but they have requested paid time off to go to Mexico next week. The crowd's booing him. He's like, sorry, Dallas, we work too. This is our job. And he says, see you at Worlds Collide. Jack and Angelico. TH2 shake their heads, disgusted at the Rude Ones getting out of this match. Week 4, the Rude Ones are seen on Jumbotron toasting at a beach in lawn chairs, sipping mimosas. They toast to being the greatest duo since Ike and Tina. Rick Rude says, at Worlds Collide, it's a black... Most face. He said, at Worlds Collide, it's a black tie affair. We're going to beat these little bitches up and ride off into the sunset. The bad boys of wrestling are going to show up and show out like always when we come in looking majestic as ever, with abs that resemble Michelangelo's David, mustaches that would make Magnum P.I. and Burt Reynolds jealous, and with more body oil than a Gianna Michaels porn scene. We are the most over tag team in wrestling history. He gets interrupted by Miss Elizabeth spitting out her drink. How hard is it to make a decent Bloody Mary? This is $14. The least you can do is make it right. The server apologizes. Robert Roode says, ooh, she's fired up. And so are we. July 9th, we will be hosting an ass whooping so bad that even our dear Miss Elizabeth, who is currently being massaged by a group of Cabana boys, will have to look away. Now, if you'll excuse me, we have to get some R&R. Ladies, rubbo el my abos. Rapido. Oh, you're still here? Cut the camera off. We're done with these punks. So TH2 they end up beating the Usos in week 4, getting ready for the match with the Rude Ones at Worlds Collide. So at Worlds Collide, TH2 are walking backstage to the hallway before the match. They get jumped by the Rude Ones and they slam their head against the walls, kick them in the stomach while they're on the ground, and Robert Roode spits on them as they walk off laughing. So now the official match begins. Rude Ones come out cocky with the hair slicked back, aviator glasses on, and bow ties and purple glittery trunks, with Rude Ones on the back in white. And Miss Elizabeth has on like 80s workout gear. It looks like a white singlet over the blue tights with a white headband on. The ref puts his hand out to take their glasses. Rick Rude spits his gum out into his hand and closes it up for him, says thanks. Then gives his glasses to Miss Elizabeth. They give their titles to the ref with a smile on their faces, knowing they want to fight tonight. And then TH2 music hits and the crowd's cheers. The Rude Ones are visibly pissed off because they thought they were going to get away with it without fighting tonight. As Jack Evans is favoring his ribs and Angelico's favoring his neck. So the match starts, the bell rings, and Rick Rude tries to lock up with Jack Evans, then stops. He puts one hand up real high, knowing Jack can't reach. When Jack tries to reach, Rick stomps on his foot. While Jack is holding his foot, he does a running DDT, and while he's on his side, he gives the camera a wink. Jack Irish whips Rick. Rick is running. Jack drops to the ground. Rick jumps over him and keeps running, and then stomps his tracks as Jack does tries to do the leapfrog thing, but he's just looking at him. And when he lands, he pokes his eye, and the crowd is booing as he's laughing. Then does a running shoulder block. At one point, Rick hits Jack with a swinging neck breaker while Jack is on the ground. Rick steps on his left hand, and then he keeps goes a quick little step over, and then he's starts putting him in a chokehold. And as the ref goes to 4, he releases him and then stomps on him again, and he's rolling around in pain. At one point, Rick and Robert Roode they keep tagging in and out the match, taking turns wearing Jack down, refusing to let him tag his partner Angelico. At one point, they take turns throwing Jack with Billy suplexes, arguing who can throw him farther. They take turns overpowering him and weakening Jack. They keep letting Jack get close to Angelico for the tag with false hope, but will stop it with elbow drops every time he get somewhat close. When he finally gets the hot tag, when he's finally about to get the hot tag, whatever, Robert's grabbing his ankles. Jack is hopping, then kicks as he rolls forward, tags his teammate. The crowd goes crazy. Angelico finally gets in. He's taking them both down with clotheslines and drop kicks and snap suplexes. He goes on a run until Miss Elizabeth trips him. He turns around to yell at her, but when he turns back around, he's met with a big boot from Rick Rude. Rick Rude then sits on one knee on his throat, cutting off his oxygen as he ties his other shoe. And the ref starts counting down. And Rick's like, "Hey, I'm not doing anything. I'm just tying my shoe." At one point, Rick Rude does a back body drop to Angelico, and Robert does an inverted backstabber while he's in the air. Angelico goes for a sweep on Rick Rude. Rick hops to evade it, but Angelico hits him with the one-handed handstand, like an enziguri kind of thing. It's kind of like a capoeira kick kind of that drops him. At one point, Angelico hits Rick with a hip toss, and then does a cartwheel and stiff kicks him right in the chest while he's sitting. The impact sends the crowd to a frenzy because it's so loud, while Angelico's shaking the ropes off to the side. I'm sorry, when Jack Evans is shaking the ropes off to the side, my fault. Angelico tags in Jack Evans and does a running drop kick to Rick Rude. Jack does a running top rope springboard corkscrew moonsault to Rick on the floor. At one point, Jack Evans does a springboard tornado kick to Rick Rude in the ring. While they're outside, Rick Rude tosses Jack Evans over the barricade and onto the steps. So he just throws his ass as strong as possible. Jack does an arm wrench to Rick Rude, but Rick brings him in for a clothesline. And while Jack is trying to get up, Rick steps on his hand as the crowd is booing. He flexes and shoves his face, shoves his face in, contorting his arm. Rick, at one point, Robert Roode Irish whips Jack into the corner, then does a running double axe handle. When Jack hits the ground, he grabs him by both ankles and tries to lift him by his ankles, but Jack backflips out of it and does a capoeira kick, another capoeira kick. And at one point, Rick Rude does a gory bomb outside Angelico and has him hit the apron. At one point, Rick Rude scoop slams Angelico. Rick does a handstand on his body, then does 2 push-ups while Miss Elizabeth is cheering him on. And they're hitting the Rude. They're hitting their little Rude chant. Angelico hits a crucifix buckle bomb to Robert Roode while Rude is on the ground. Jack Evans gets on the turnbuckle and does a 630. He goes for the pin, but Miss Elizabeth gets on the apron and starts shaking the ropes and yelling. The ref is temporarily distracted. Rick Rude kicks Jack Evans in the nuts and spears Jack. At this point, Robert Roode sits on Rick Rude's shoulders in the doomsday position, and they put Jack. So while Jack Evans is sitting on top rope, they suplex him off. Angelico is trying to get in the ring, but Rick kicks the ropes while he's getting in, and this attacks his groin as Robert pins Jack for the 1, 2, 3. The crowd is booing like crazy. Off the Rude one's winning. Robert Roode is on a knee, and Rick Rude's hugging him from behind, holding the belts as Robert gives a smirk. Miss Elizabeth is clapping, raising both their hands as the Rude one's basking the hate from the crowd. Rick grabs the mic and says, "Anybody can win a title, but it takes real men to do it in satin." He laughs as the crowd boos. And that's the end of that segment.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I seem very excited, so just go
I
ahead.
had absolutely nothing wrong with it. I came into this really wanting to tell you that the Rude ones, let's stop getting them the W, but I liked it. Giving you 5.
Thank you.
I will gotta suppress some hate, but not too much hate. I didn't like the promos as much. I felt like
what?
I
Bullshit. No, those promos are fire.
Let him defend his show.
I'm not. I'm telling you, those are fire. You're being a fucking hater.
He's not.
No, that whole fucking thing was
They weren't
amazing.
like horrible, but like I feel like compared to their other work that you've done for them,
Just throwing out the word bitch all the time and then taking shots at the other companies was a little.
it didn't.
It's what
hit like
everyone
some of
else
the other
does.
stuff.
No, fuck that.
No, you've
What?
done
What?
better.
When have I taken shots at the other companies?
I'm pretty sure you have.
I haven't.
You
I'm
didn't
gonna
you
say
have
this-
us all? Hold on, not at other companies. Did you have us all in a match?
Not only have you done better with the rude
Not
ones,
this booking verse.
but we've done
Not-
better with the rude ones.
Really? I don't think so.
Hey!
Man, you talk while I'm rating?
That's fine. I mean,
Wow, what is it?
Trying to get all this hate up out of me. Anyways, match was good. I like some of in the match you did some cool stuff that was actually unique. Like some of their heel tactics were actually kind of like really funny. Like the reach up and then stomp on his foot, that was actually really good. And then I also like the tying the shoes, stepping on his throat thing. Those are really creative heel tactics that I haven't seen used before. So in the match, you did some awesome stuff that made up for the build.
I like the distraction and the big boot.
I did too.
Thank you.
So the heel tactics were really awesome in the match. I'm gonna give this a 3.5. Like the build wasn't fantastic, but the match was pretty good, and the build wasn't horrible. It was just low. It's lower than the bar you set for the Rube ones, and the bar we set. But whatever, you being a hater.
He's hating on his own
Rude
stuff.
coin was way better than this.
The whole vacation scene, I was here for it.
Okay, the vacation
Thank you.
scene
I
was funny.
fuck with the vacation scene. I was having fun making that part.
I do agree though with John and Travis talking about like just constantly having them like say bitch just to say bitch and stuff like that felt
It wasn't
forced.
just that. They're like Freddy Krueger. They just ended with bitch. That's all it is.
I don't like
Coming
that.
for you, bitch.
Hey, guys. Rude ones couldn't compete in a gold standard rules match.
They couldn't.
They were having that Roman Reigns in like 2017 where they just had to have bitch at the end. You a fake ass bitch.
All right, let's get this rating.
Not only are you a fake ass bitch, you're a fake ass, phony ass, punk ass bitch.
God.
And that's on rude ones.
I'm gonna give you a 4. I do agree with that issue with the build. Like some of the promos, I agree. Some of the promos didn't hit. Like earlier run promos have hit, but the match was really good. I do like a lot of the heel tactics. At first I was all in on Angelico and Evans winning, but the fact that you had them cheat to win, I like it. And so yeah, I'll give you a 4.
All right, let's do this. What did John give you?
3.5.
3.5.
Okay. So I don't think that the promos weren't bad. They were just mid. And I think compared to some of the rude ones are your bread and butter when it comes to promos. So for them to have a mid promo, it comes off as really bad. Did Helico and Jack Evans have any promos at all? Did they say a single word in the build?
No.
Okay.
Actually, no, they didn't.
Okay, fair enough.
Because they can't. They're not good at talking. Like, they're not.
Neither is X-Pac, but here you
Well,
guys
to be
are
fair,
the whole
you
thing.
are
They're fucking good at talking.
You are the guy who says that it's a empty vessel, and that you
true.
could have made them good at talking.
So that's
I'll
gonna be
give
a
you
slight knock there because
Touche.
they didn't have a single promo.
Touche. They don't need to talk. Let the rude ones talk for 'em. Let the rude ones build this
Now,
damn feud.
But here's the thing: I feel like every fucking Rude Ones feud is just the Rude Ones cutting promos for 4 weeks, and then they have a match and they cheat to win. I hate it here. You have a formula. You have a formula, and I'm cracking down.
No. The other group talked. It was when RK Owens. They were talking back. They were talking shit back.
I don't even remember them fucking facing them. That's how much.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time since DPW. That was Monday Night Madness. That was a long time ago.
Okay, fair enough. So, where was I at? Okay, so they didn't have any promos. I didn't like that. I think the promos that were given were kind of mid.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't understand the hype behind TH2. I don't even know if that's their real name, but
That is a real name.
okay.
Yeah, that's why they got that nasty name.
I hate them. I don't think they're that good.
Well, Angelico's leaving soon, so
They're spot monkeys.
Jack Evans is too.
Jack Evans already
And-
did.
Yeah.
I
Talking about
disagree with that
leaving
take,
AEW?
Travis. Yeah.
Mhm.
They are spot monkeys.
They're good.
No, they
They're
are.
spot
That-
mon- They were
Yeah.
in that Matt Hardy, whatever the fuck it is, Matt Hardy Family Brands or whatever the fuck it was,
Yeah.
and they were in a there was
Family
3
friend.
tag teams. There was 3 tag teams in that brand, and they were the worst of the 3.
Nah, Butch and the Blade's the worst.
They weren't treated like it.
That's fair.
Like, that's what I'm saying. They were literally the worst of the 3 tag. Like, they were the sidekicks. No, they were the sidekicks. That's just, like, they're just not good, in my opinion. I don't like them. I don't get the hype here.
They were on
I
the
don't-
Jericho Cruise.
I don't care.
They're just supposed to be my high flyers.
Did you know that John went on the Jericho cruise?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a 3. I think this was perfect mid. I think you could have had a better team in there. I think they should have done a promo. And I think your promos could have been stronger. That's my real only. The match was good, though.
Got you. So, I think that's everybody. Yeah, that's everybody. So, week 1, Jade Cargill has defeated Ty Conti on Monday Night Madness. And Alexa Bliss had made her first appearance at a bar with Darby Allin week 1 on Thursday Night Throwdown. So, week 2 on Monday Night Madness, Jade is going against Jamie Hayter. She hits her with a bicycle kick. Then she goes for the Jaded. The lights cut out. And Alexa Bliss is on a Titantron. And she says, "Welcome to my playground." You know, a little voice she does. Then starts smiling from ear to ear as a tear goes down her face. Jay's looking disgusted, like, what the fuck is this? And then Jamie Hayter takes the opportunity to hit her with the schoolboy. Jade kicks out at 2 and ends up winning the match with the Jaded anyway. While having her arm raised up by the ref, she's like looking at the Titantron, like, what was that about? So week 2 on Thursday Night Throwdown, Alexa Bliss is in a match with Candice Michelle. We see an empty seat up front, but then the crowd goes crazy as Jade Cargill walks through the crowd and sits in the empty seat. And Candice is distracted by this and starts being vocal with Jade in the front row. She turns around to a tornado kick from Alexa that she calls topsy-turvy. She pins with her tongue out as Jade laughs. But and she does like a little eye roll as she's looking at her. And Alexa's laughing, then licks her lips and says, "We dine in hell." And Jade's weirded out, walks out of the crowd and is laughing at her like, what the fuck? Now it's week 3 on Monday Night Madness. Jade says, "I went to Thursday Night Throwdown last week, and their fans had the nerve to laugh at me. Laugh at me? I am Jade Cargill. No one laughs at me. This fake-ass Harley Quinn puts no fear in my heart. I'm the best up-and-coming wrestler in the world, and I will soon make history after I win the women's championship." We see the lights cut out, and Alexa Bliss is on a Titantron. She says, "At Worlds Collide, you will see the spirit of La Novia Demonium. See you soon." She licks her lips and smiles. Week 3 on Thursday Night Throwdown.
Did you just speak Latin?
You said what?
What the? Were you just speaking Latin?
It was Spanish, but yeah, it was Spanish.
What's the interpretation? I didn't take Spanish.
Not gonna lie to you, I forgot.
Can you say it slowly so I can try to help out here?
La Novia Demonio.
It's the
Son.
It
it's
sounds
the
like
girlfriend of, or the girlfriend of de what? You said La Novia de
No, it was just Demonio.
Demonium.
Demonio. D-Money.
The girlfriend
The
of
son of D-Money.
It's the girlfriend of Demone.
I did know that. I was right. It was the Demon Bride. The Demon Bride.
I like the girlfriend of Damone better.
Yeah,
I like
she's-
the Bliss with my girlfriend.
Yeah. You hear
Someone
that?
tell his wife. So,
Yeah, she's the Demon Bride. She says, "See you soon." She licks her lips and smiles. Week 3 on Thursday Night Throwdown, Jade visits a church. The nun comes and says, "I know why you're here. You seek answers on them." And Jade says, "Yes." The nun says, "Ah, yes, La Novia Demonio." People thought it was a folktale. La Novia Demonio was the most beautiful girl in all of Mexico. She died delivering birth to her daughter. The father, sad, looking for a beautiful woman, could not find a woman matching her beauty. There was no one matching her beauty but her daughter. The day of her wedding, the father tried to get with the daughter while she was bathing. Consumed by shame, he had murdered the daughter. They say one night while he was taking a bath, a dark entity was heard crying. When he went to investigate, the dark entity in a black wedding dress drowned him. They said to this day, you can hear her crying, but if you answer, she will drown you. So we had a young man come in here, and he's seeking refuge from his abusive mother by the name of Darby Allin. He loved this story. We have reason to believe that he influenced his girlfriend to think that
Kenny.
she was her.
Did you say that abuser named Darby Allin? That sounds familiar.
So Jade looks worried. She's like, "Thank you, sister. That'll be all." The nun
Did you
walks
make
away.
Alexa Bliss a Mexican folk tale?
No, it's the spirit. It's the spirit of the Mexican folk tale. And he's
This
feels
convoluted.
no, what's the word I'm looking for?
Cultural
Appropriated,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
We'll continue.
They don't talk about that on the Bad Guy podcast. He about to be surprised.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? She says, "Thank you, sister. That'll be all." The nun walks away, and Jade is second guessing herself. Week 4 on Monday Night Madness, Jade has extra security with her at all times. She storms in Ted DiBiase Jr.'s office and says, "How can you put me in a match with this crazy bitch? My destiny is to be the DPW Women's Champion, and you put me up against a girl that should be locked away. This is bullshit, TDJ." TDJ screams, "Enough! You will do fine. You're my top competitor, and you will beat Alexa Bliss. I am God here. I am all-knowing. Money is king here. And just know you are safe as long as you go out there and do what you have to do." Jay's looking confused, and she's like, "Okay." She leaves the office, and we hear, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away." Jay turns and nothing is there, but she hears laughter. Jay sprints at her. She's like, "Fuck this." And she like dips out of there. And then week 4 on Thursday Night Throwdown, Jade goes up against Dana Brooke and destroys her. But throughout the match, Jade is like paranoid. She's like, okay. So then she finally pins her and wins the match. And she backs out the ring. A fan touches her back and she turns around and freaks out, ready to swing, but it's just a normal fan. Jade shakes it off and starts being confident again. She's like, "Okay, I ain't got nothing to worry about." But then at the top of the ramp, she sees a swing. And then the lights go out and the swing comes back and you see Alexa Bliss is swinging on it back and forth. And she smiles and waves at her. And Jade stares her down, and we see like the epic stare down between these two. So now it's the actual night of the pay-per-view. Jade comes out real cocky in a Wonder Woman-inspired outfit, and Alexa Bliss comes out in a Black Bride outfit, her makeup running, the eyeliner running, like she just got done crying, but she has a very forced, eerie smile on her face, and Jade is looking like really worried. So the match starts off with a test of strength, and Jade easily overpowers her, then tosses Bliss into the corner. Jade looks at her and smiles, and Jade's like, "Ugh." And at one point, Bliss goes for a running tornado DDT, but Jade stops it and attempts to toss her out of the ring. Bliss lands on the apron, and Bliss does a springboard throwback. At one point, Jade does a buckle bomb to Alexa Bliss. At one point, Bliss does a Shining Wizard, and we see it's very stiff to the point where the replay, you see the impact of the knee hit her forehead. At one point, Bliss slingshots herself out of the ring, but is met with a drop kick by Jade. At one point, Jade backs up and gets bumped into by one of the cameramen. The cameraman puts his hand on the lower part of Jade's stomach. Says, "I apologize about that," and pats it twice. And Jade's like, "Okay." So then Jade goes for one point, Jade goes for a superplex, but Bliss turns into a stiff sit-out net breaker in the air. Jade is holding her neck as Bliss crawls over real quick. 1, 2, Jade kicks out. We see a replay of the stiff neck breaker out of nowhere as the crowd groans. At one point, Jade goes for a clothesline, and Bliss does a triple half Nelson suplex. Can't say that. One point, Alexa goes for a spear. Jade leapfrogs over it, and when Alexa turns around, she's hit with a bicycle kick right to the jaw. And then Jade hits a pump handle face buster. At one point, Bliss spears Jade, and Jade turns into a DDT in midair. She goes for the pin, and her head goes up and down with the count like 1, 2, but Bliss kicks out. And then at the very end, Alexa gets on the top rope and does the classic like Alexa Bliss taunt. Like, there's a little thing like this, but she's having like inner conflict on which side is like controlling her as she's trying to shake it off. And she goes for the Twisted Bliss finally, but Jade has enough time to get her knees up. Jade pulls the brass knuckles out from her trunks and punches her and clearly knocks her out. She hits the Jade finisher and goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. She gets her arm raised by the ref and the crowd's booing as she does her little like title taunt with her tongue out. As Bliss is out cold in the middle of the ring, and Darby runs out and clutches her lifeless body, and Jade does the cryberry taunt on the way out of the ring. And that's the end.
Jade Cargill sucks.
I don't agree with that.
I agree.
But I don't think this is.
This wasn't it.
I was gonna be that mean, but yes, you're right.
Yeah, you picked the worst version of Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
I was trying to take it and try to do something with it, try to make her like damn near like a scary like.
But you killed her character. You didn't give her any steam.
Yeah, like you had her immediately. She debuts this like new newish character, and like you build up the whole story, the folklore, and then you immediately have her lose.
It's the same thing Mike did with Doink. But who do you have play Doink? Luke Harper?
Yeah.
No, yeah, Luke Harper, yeah.
That's still so bizarre to me. I can't get my head around that. But
yeah, that
it worked until you had Hogan beat him.
Right.
That was many of Hogan's storylines.
I told you I did what I did for a reason. So
Yeah, but
we're gonna hear. We're gonna hear.
Anyways, I'll let the others go first because if I start off in the hate fest, it's gonna be too mean. I'm trying to change my ways.
So the match
I'm
itself
not.
was okay.
Okay.
Like it was mid. Like the match itself, the build.
There was effort
Like
in that build.
there was
but it wasn't-
effort in the build, but I feel like I don't like the fact that you gave Alexa a Mexican folklore as her gimmick.
Is that a real
and then-
folklore, Kenny?
No, I made that shit up.
that feels like
and then-
less effort was put in then.
And then you
said
immediately
what?
had her. Then you immediately had her lose clean too, like clean as a whistle.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't clean. She got hit with brass knuckles to lose.
Oh yeah, you're right.
She's
I still don't like
a
it.
fucking demon.
Yeah, she's supposed to be a demon, and then she immediately loses to like a normal person. Even with brass knuckles,
Yeah, it's brass knuckles.
I just don't know where you would go with Alexa at this point. I'm gonna give this a 2.
Okay.
Whew. Mike, go ahead and save the day here because I feel like you love this.
I really didn't like this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a 3.
Okay. Mike not liking something's pretty always good for you still though. Mike
No,
might
it
be the
wasn't. 'Cause he
nicest.
gave me 0.5s before.
No, fair enough. John, you got a number? Because I got a number, but mine.
I'm waiting to hear yours, Travis. I took
Okay.
the last one first. You got to take this one.
I'll give you some bonus points for what I was saying earlier.
Some
though.
audacity.
No, not audacity. For the effort, but I gotta knock it down just a little bit because I thought you were doing research and like found this character and like found this folklore and like worked it into the story and
No, I made all that shit up.
I made a folklore up one.
He went
so
on to
I
Google
get it.
Translate and did that shit.
I know. I remember.
I
the mom
really
used
did.
it.
I was like, I even forgot what I even named the girl.
Yeah,
I made it
you're
so long
fucking
ago.
welcome.
I forgot she's the demon bride. I forgot that was her name.
I didn't like the match. I think Jade Cargill sucks. I think this is the worst Alexa Bliss. This is worse than Fiend Alexa Bliss. I don't like that it's a Mexican folklore that doesn't even exist. That you could have just made it a white people folklore and then wouldn't even be cultural appropriation.
No, I want to make it scary.
I say yeah, you could have done some
scary shit
Viking
happens
shit.
out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this or not, but there are some scary white people out there.
Yeah, it's called
Oh, there's a lot
Florida Man.
I've heard of one
That
named
would've been her
Chris
name.
Benoit.
El Florida Man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you.
Wait, was Darby Allin raised by nuns in this storyline?
No. He just was obsessed with the story and tried to make her into that character. And even if she's
So
not
Mexican-
really,
so he's an
that's-
abuser in
she's
this
not
too.
she's not really this demon bride thing, but he's like obsessed with it so much that he's trying to make her out to be this.
So wait,
She's
Kenny,
not.
you have a Darby Allin potential abuser, probable abuser, playing abuser.
Yeah, I didn't know he was an abuser. I just thought I was doing something new, and I was like, okay. I know he's
Go look up speaking out with his name.
All right, who needs a vote? Who needs to?
I'm about to do it.
Travis, give that number.
So I'm gonna tell you this before I give you my number that you're getting a whole ass dollar solely on your storyline here,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna give you $1.25 because I did not like this shit.
Okay.
I'm not scared to be the hater like John.
I'm trying to change my ways, and
I'm
just
not.
to show that I've changed. I'm gonna give you one more quarter than Travis. I'm gonna give you $1.50. It wasn't good, but man, like, I agree with just everything Travis said. I'm not gonna dunk on you anymore.
I'm fucking Muhammad Hassan in 2001 and fucking
2001.
yeah, no, this is my how bad of a heel I am. I am Muhammad Hassan on September 12th, 2001. John is the un-American. He's scared to get heat.
Okay. So Okay, so now we're going to the next part. After Kenny Omega retired Bret Hart in their hard fight match, it's a hard fought match.
Hard fight. They're
Yeah, I
rock
couldn't
hard
read
as
today.
they fought.
Hard fought match for the DPW championship.
Big ass boners.
Bret Hart has taken up the training younger talent in week 2, but one student stood out from the rest, and that is Austin Theory. No other student has taken the information given like he has. Theory is a quick learner and has become a way better technician.
And theory is a thing for students.
Damn it. Bret admires everything about him.
This is toxic.
But Bret admires everything about him. He sees him as the future of the business. He has the look, skill, and ability to talk like a future world champion would. He just worries about him being a sadist. In their training, he cranks the other students' legs when he performs ankle locks for longer than he should, and he's like really enjoying it, like really cranking them legs. He has his first match later on the show with Bret.
Legs.
I've enjoyed cranking a leg or two in my day.
He has his first match later on the show with Bret Hart in his corner. He wrestles against Zion Quinn. He works the leg the entire match and finishes with an ankle lock. And as he taps Theory, he's laughing. Bret Hart is just shaking his head in disgust. Meanwhile, in the same week, Kane is looked down upon by the crowd for selling out to the man, which is Ted DiBiase Jr. TDJ announces there will be an official commencement to have Kane be an official member of the bank later on that night. TDJ, Batista, Ace of Hearts, Kip Sabian, and Corporate Kane is in TDJ's office, all in designer suits. At one point in the show, Candice Michelle is begging for a match for the championship while they're all in there, and TDJ gives them the nod to leave the quote-unquote work out a contract for a title match. As they are all leaving, the group is cheering and hooting and hollering, but Kane isn't joining on this. He's like, I don't really fuck with that. Later that night, when they have the commencement for Kane, all the group is out there, and as Kane is about to sign his life away to the bank, Kane stops and flips over the table, and as TDJ gets up in outrage, Kane throat chops TDJ. He drops each member of the bank until we see Kane and Batista look at each other. These two go at it, going back and forth until the rest of the group jumps him. The crowd boos as TDJ undoes his tie and his cufflinks and does a seated Cobra clutch to Kane as the crowd boos. Week 3, Kane is in his suit and says, I'm sorry, DPW. TDJ had information on me and is using this to keep me in his pocket. But not anymore. The monster Kane is back. And yes, the love of money is the root of all evil. But I know something more dangerous than money. The big red machine. You see, having no money isn't the end of the world, but selling your soul is. DPW, I am no longer aligning with them. I am a free man now. He rips the tie off and throws the jacket down with the crowd cheers. Later that night, TDJ says he has plans for the bank. He needs Austin Theory to take Kane out in a no DQ match. He has $20,000 set aside for him, and Theory says, no, I don't need your money. Taking his leg with me home is satisfactory enough. He walks out of the office with a smile on his face as Bret Hart looks and worry. Week 4, Kane is in a match with Veer. It's a very even match until Theory runs down the ramp and chop blocks Kane while the ref isn't paying attention. Veer uses this to his advantage, and it's a sit out choke bomb for the win. The crowd boos as he taunts in the ring. Theory smiles while slowly stalking Kane in the ring, crawling.
Did you draft Veer?
You said what?
Did you draft Veer?
No.
Okay, thank God.
No. He was just extra. I was like, Veer ain't he's not anywhere.
Why would you be against drafted Veer? He's been coming for like 6 months.
That's too much cum.
He came. No, he came. I don't know if he's come again. But...
Yeah, he was out there he was out there around the ring clapping and high-fiving people for Randy Orton's 20th anniversary thing. And I was like, okay, so he's already a joke. Like, you had him come out here and squish fucking Rey Mysterio's head like he's Great Khali. And then...
So high-fiving people.
Yeah, now 2 weeks later, he's out here.
He shouldn't be a monster. He's like super charismatic IRL.
Is it? You know him?
Yeah.
So after he hits the sit-out choke bomb for the win, crowd boos as he taunts in the ring. Theory smiles while slowly stalking Kane in the ring, crawling. He does the ankle lock as Kane is yelling in pain, and refs have to come out to break him off. Theory yells out. Yeah, he's like, he had to pull him off.
Like a Kit Kat bar?
Break him off like a bad bitch is what I'm thinking.
Theory yells out, I've been working my ass off to get here. You threw away your chance. You stupid old man. I'll take care of your Worlds Collide. Your leg comes home with me. Oh man, your leg comes home with me. So they're like pulling him off at this point. So now it's the night of the pay-per-view. Austin Theory comes on the black singlet with pink accents, black jacket with pink lightning accents on the sleeves, and black and pink beats around his neck. He comes out real cocky as the music hits. The announcer says, weighing in at 224 pounds, making his way from Atlanta, Georgia, the spectacle of being technical, the grappling god, Austin Theory. The
I
crowd's
like
booing.
that name.
Thank you. Kane comes out in apocalyptic attire and a mask similar to Bane's off of Dark Knight as he comes down with a sinister look. So now they officially have their
Doomsday Kane. Doomsday
Kane. So immediately, as soon as the bell rings, Theory shoots for Kane's leg immediately, and Kane has to punch the top of his head several times and gives him like a face rake to have him let go. At one point, he tosses him out of the ring and walks towards him and continues to throat chop him around the ring as Theory's crawling around, walking around groggy. One point, Kane Irish whips him shoulder first into the steps as Theory yells out in pain. Kane Irish whips him back in the ring. Kane chokes Theory with both hands, lifts him up in the air. As he's choking him, Theory pokes him in the eye, and Kane lets go. Theory immediately hits a Rolling Thunder blockbuster. The crowd boos as he does like a crank taunt. He's like going like this. He goes for the ankle lock, and Kane's yelling in pain is trying to tap, and he turns his body and kicks him off. At one point, Austin Theory goes for an ankle lock again, but Kane rolls forward, sending Austin Theory flying out of the ring. Kane favoring his leg, looks around as the crowd cheers. He slingshots himself out of the ring into a crossbody. The crowd's cheering as the Theory's laid out, and Kane is on the ground favoring his leg. At one point, Kane is trying to get back into the ring, and when he gets on the apron facing the crowd, holding his leg, Theory slides in the ring and runs full speed and spears Kane back through the ropes as the crowd goes crazy. And Theory's looking at him with a smile. At one point, Theory goes for a diving double axe handle but gets throat chopped. He drops to the ground. Kane goes for the pin. 1, 2. Theory kicks out as Kane looks off like really? Kane goes for a choke slam, but his leg's in so much pain when he lifts him. He drops him. Theory takes advantage and does a basement drop kick to the injured leg again. That makes Kane flip forward low-key, like kind of rolls forward. One point, Austin Theory does a snap suplex to Kane. He eyes his leg again and goes on the second rope. Kane gets up and headbutts him. Theory dazed and confused. Kane gets on the apron and chokes Theory. He eyes the barricade and choke slams him off the top rope into the side of the barricade as Bret Hart looks in pain. And then at the very end, Kane goes for a tombstone power driver, but Theory shifts his weight back, and Kane drops down as there's too much pain on his leg. And Theory takes advantage and does the ankle lock. Kane is in too much pain and taps out. He holds his leg as the ref has to yank him off and gets up, raising both arms as Bret Hart comes in and claps for him while shaking his hand. Like while shaking his head, my fault, not hand, while shaking his head.
I wish you would, if you're gonna do the Bret Hart and him doing a submission, you should have had him use the sharpshooter. But not gonna ding you.
But I feel like the sharpshooter hurts your back more because when I know the people, they always complain about the back, not the legs.
It does hurt your back, but it's just the Bret Hart. It's like
it
feels like you wanted this to be Kurt Angle, but you couldn't get Kurt Angle, so you gave Bret Hart instead. And didn't change anything else.
That really wasn't the goal. But
this has nothing to do with your match or anything. But I don't know why this popped in my head. And it made me mad. Now I need an answer. Why is the shooting star press held at such a high regard, but the moonsault isn't when it's the same move, just faced in a different way?
Difficulty.
How's it difficulty?
I think it's harder to do the flip that
way. Doing a backflip going forward.
Because you're doing a backflip and you're also pushing your body forward too. It's kind of instead of doing a moonsault, you're just doing a backflip.
Yeah, I feel like doing a.
I don't think it's that big of a difference, but I can't do either, so I can't.
Yeah, go do it.
So. I'm saying one is a backflip, but because you're already going.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying I don't know. I just don't feel like it's that big of a difference.
Brock Lesnar wouldn't have landed on his head with the moonsault.
He also shouldn't have fucking tried to do it like 3/4 of the way across the ring like an idiot.
True. Yeah.
He went to the closer turnbuckle.
Or move Kurt closer.
Yeah. And the sad part is that he almost landed it. Like.
Yeah. Side note, by the way, Kane did use a character named Doomsday at one point in his career.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's gross.
I've seen the Doomsday Kane that is in DPW. I was there when he created him, and I will say shit's hard. I'm mad that you're doing these repackages and everything, and then just feeding them to people immediately.
Yeah, true.
Well, I mean, I feel like I don't know. I'm trying to describe each character. It's kind of hard to do. Like I say, they're just supposed to be the introduction of everybody anyway. Like I said, this is the first review, so I'm literally just trying to.
Your monsters have no monstrosity.
But here's the thing: you also had two. You had 2 weekly shows to do that, like where you could have introduced them during your 2 weekly shows.
No. The Usos and the Flyboys had to have 20 spots in 3 minutes.
True.
Hey, get him, John.
I will never forgive you. But keep going.
Hey, where'd that bill lead? $5. That's where.
I don't necessarily have anything like wrong with this feud. I think the right person won.
I have a lot of wrong with this feud. Not
I
a
mean,
lot. Just
like I don't have
fundamentally
anything,
wrong.
Yeah, I don't have anything like dramatically wrong. So I'm gonna give you a 4.5 because it's not perfect, but it's not. But I like it.
I think that. I like that.
Right.
I'll try to make a new technical wrestler out of Austin.
And I do, yeah, and I like Theory. What did you call him? I like the grappling guy. Yeah.
The spectacle of what?
The spectacle of being technical.
Yeah.
And the grappling god.
I'm gonna go.
I like both of those. Okay.
I'm just gonna go with a 4. I agree with Damone.
So here's the thing. I like both of these characters and stories separately. I don't think they should have crossed paths, at least not yet. I don't like that you
do have a lot of TDJ like all over the product.
It's Donald Trump, Johnny Knoxville all over again.
It is. Like he's in every single feud.
You talking about me being all up in the cameras?
He's the owner. Yeah. He's got the
So am I.
He is.
I done seen Travie T a lot too.
All up in the video.
Motherfucker, most of my spot, like most of the stuff when I'm in there is just me saying, yeah, we're gonna make this match official. Like
but all TDJ says, hey, go out there and take him out. That's all he does. he just pays them. That's just it. He got the money.
That's a lot more than what I'm doing.
Don't get mad.
I'm like more of a typical authority figure. Your TDJ is just out here being a menace. He is a super villain.
He is a super villain.
Yeah, so it's different. It's not the same thing. John, do you have a number? Because I don't really have one yet. I don't know.
I'm gonna say that I'm not on the same boat as Damone and Mike, but I don't hate this either.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
It's fine. It's not for me though, if that makes sense. Like it's not something that like if I were watching this show that I would be looking forward to on the card.
This is supposed to be just a technical wear down a certain body part kind of match. That's pretty much what it is. Just him.
It's strange that you picked Kane for this match.
Yeah.
Well, it just showed pretty much he can do it to anybody. The fact that he's a bigger guy, he's like, I can wear you down too, and he did it.
Okay.
It's just not my style. But you did fine with it. I don't hate it. I don't love either repackage. I don't hate them either. I'm gonna give this a perfect mid 3.
Okay.
I like both of the repackages a lot. I just wish they weren't facing each other. I think you stunted Kane because now Kane's nothing now.
Yeah, because he tapped out.
Doomsday can't come back now. He gets his fresh repackage, and then gets beat down by a guy that's a quarter of his size, and then taps out to that guy. Not that size always matters, but it just in this moment it does.
And him tapping out is the issue. I would say more than the size thing.
Because it does. The size does matter in this instance because he wore him down and made him tap out.
True. Yeah, I know. I understand.
He should have choke slammed him out of his boots like he was the Undertaker and Theory was Terry Funk.
What?
Undertaker choke slammed Terry Funk during the Mankind Hell in a Cell match and his shoes came off. That was the joke. I was just watching the Mick Foley Broken Skull sessions before I got on here. That's what. Anyway, I'm gonna give you a 3. I don't know. I don't feel confident in that 3, but I'm gonna give you a 3.
You want to go higher? What it sound like?
What?
I said you want to go higher, huh?
No.
Okay. So,
take your 3 and run.
Yeah.
Nah, it's all good. So now after you remember Bad Bitch Party, I don't know if you remember them.
Oh my God.
So after Bad Bitch Party lost to Sisters Grimm week 1, Ted DiBiase Jr.
Who are these people again? Who's the Bad Bitch Party? Who's the Sisters Grimm?
It's Talia Valkyrie and Melina. And then with Sonny Kiss as their manager. He always walks up with their mirror because they look that good. And then Sisters Grimm is Dewdrop, but we call her Piper Nevin here. And Nia Jax.
BBP is just female rude ones.
No.
Yeah, but BBP is also beautiful people when Cute Kip was with them.
Yeah, but Sonny Kiss is a little more flamboyant than Cute Kip is. So after they lost to Sisters Grimm week 1, Ted DiBiase Jr. is in doubt if they deserve to be champions. Week 2, BBP have a rematch against Sisters Grimm that ends in Melina going for a diving splash, but when Taya is Irish whipped into the ropes, it makes her fall to the turnbuckle. And Nia Jax hits Simone drop off the second turnbuckle for the win. Week 3, TDJ calls him in the office and says, "One thing about me, I respect my money, my time, and my imprint on wrestling. Seeing my champions lose in embarrassing fashion
Definitely
week
that
after
imprint.
Damn it, lost my place now. So seeing my champions lose in embarrassing fashion week after week makes me wonder. Do you think I made a mistake in making you my DPW Women's Tag Team Champions? When I sent you to Japan and saw you take the belts, I thought I had the next big thing here in the women's tag team wrestling. But it looks like you guys are starting to fold under pressure. Now, I suggest if you can't beat the competition, make sure there is no competition. Now get out of my sight." And then week 4, it is announced that Sisters Grimm have a match against the Blonde Shells, Naomi and Kara Hogan, for the titles. Piper
The
is
blonde shells.
the Blonde Shells. They got blonde hair here.
So you got
I was
Naomi
gonna
and
say, neither of them have blonde hair.
Nope, but they do here. They'll be up for download on the community creation.
Can I tell you how much I despise your women's tag teams?
You say you despise it?
Yes, I've hated every single one of them so far.
That's fine. We had to have my thick team in there. It's the blonde shit. It was Naomi.
You already had a thick
Hogan.
team with the Brothers Grimm.
The Sisters Grimm. No, that's my BBW team.
I say they both built like bouncy balls.
So they get a match against the Blonde Shells, Naomi and Kara Hogan for the titles. Piper's climbing the top rope for a bonsai drop. When we see Melina run into the ring and grab her ankle, Piper's trying to kick her off and is distracted. Taya runs across the apron and cracks Piper in the head with a beer bottle, and the match is called off due to disqualification. The crowd's booing as Piper is laid out. With Piper never being injured, Nia Jax will need a new tag team partner at the event. So this match will be a 4-way tag match between these teams right here. So Chicas Locas come out in big hoop earrings, white tank top, tan shorts, long white socks, red plaid tops, only button on the top button, black chucks and black bandanas. It's Zelina Vega and Ariel. I don't know if I think her name is Shelly Martinez in TNA. And Zelina has on black shades. They get in the ring and show off their look. They have the Mexican flag up. Blonde Shells come out twerking in black beaters and black leggings. And then BBP comes out with Sunny Kiss and with the holding up the mirror as they walk out, to booze from flexing their belt for the crowd to see. And then Nia Jax is by herself, and she comes out by herself looking real determined. The match starts with Nia Jax doing a power slam to Zelina, then does a running senton party to the other females in the ring. At one point, Zelina runs and Taya flapjacks Zelina out of the ring into a crossbody to Kiera on the outside. At one point, Kiera tries to go for a monkey flip to Taya in the corner, but Taya turns into a pop-up powerbomb. At one point, Zelina does a suicide dive to Melina out of the ring. At one point, Taya does a super kick to Nia, then drops her. Taya grabs Kiera into a is it Shiranoi? Is that how you say it? Shiranoi? Yeah, Shiranoi, whatever. Shiranoi position, then kicks off Naomi and finishes the Shiranoi, and then does a splash onto Nia behind her on the ground at the same time. Kiera Hogan at one point is dazed. Shelly lays on her back with her knees up, and Zelina hits a throwback onto Kiera, landing Kiera face first into the knees. They call it the chiropractor. Melina hits Nia Jax with a super kick, and Nia hits the ground hard. We see Naomi climb onto the barricade, then tightrope walk into a jumping leg drop to Nia's body, hanging outside the ring, hanging out of the ring. At one point, Zelina does a running hurricane run off the apron and onto Nia ringside. And then we see Nia Jax getting tired, and the other competitors are working on her legs since she's the biggest one there and are trying to take her out the match. The lights go out, and we hear Joe Rogan say, "That must be Nia's mystery partner." We see Lufisto come across the screen as her music hits.
Joe Rogan probably is her mystery partner.
Damn it. We see Lufisto come across the screen as her music hits. Like, "Let the bodies hit the floor." So that song's playing. She walks down real determined as Joe Rogan screams, "It's the indie legend, Lufisto," making her way down the DPW ramp.
Legend is thrown around pretty rough here.
No, she's a legend in indies. Don't do that. Don't you do that.
She's not.
Who is it? Lufisto?
Lufisto, yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
I know who she is, but she's not a legend.
She's definitely a legend. Don't let him fool you.
Loki's not a legend.
Okay,
either,
and Shannon
he's not
Moore's
world
the GOAT
championship
while we're at
material.
it.
You said Shannon Moore's not the GOAT?
I said no, and Shannon Moore's the GOAT while we're at it, I guess.
Oh. So he said things just got a little more intense in this championship match. She gets in the ring, starts throwing females around the ring, displaying her strength. Shelly does a multiple elbow smash to Lufisto. Lufisto isn't phased by it. She puts her hands behind her back, and as she's still getting elbow smash, she's like had her hands behind her back. Shelly looks confused, and Lufisto screams in her face. And Shelly runs and bounces off the ropes for more momentum and goes for another elbow smash, but she comes back to a stiff lariat as the crowd gets hyped as she's yelling. Shelly scoots back into the turnbuckle while still sitting. Lufisto runs and does a cannonball turn in the corner as the crowd goes crazy. Ty in the middle of the ring is sitting up, and Lufisto does a running cannonball to her too as the crowd gets on their feet clapping as Lufisto's going crazy around the ring. Nia Jax and Lufisto do a double military lift and toss Kiera Hogan into the rest of the females outside of the ring. The crowd is getting hyped at this point. Lufisto looks at Nia Jax and military lifts her. She's like this, so she's displaying her strength, lifts her and throws her on the females outside the ring as well. The crowd goes crazy seeing the heavyweight go over the ropes like she did. One point, Zelina does a satellite DDT to Naomi. One point, Melina does a diving crossbody to Lufisto, but Lufisto catches her and rolls backwards with her and stands up with her and then pops her up in a fireman's carry. Lufisto does a double knee gut buster from there to Melina and holds her there. The crowd all start to stand up as Nia Jax climbs the turnbuckle, and then she does a diving senton as Melina as the Melina. I can't read. She does a diving senton on Melina as the crowd goes nuts. And Melina, she's like overselling. She's like shaking on the floor and a little twitch shit. They go for the pin. 1, 2, then Ty jumps in and stops it as the crowd boos. Shelly slingshots herself to Nia on the outside. And then at the very end, Lufisto goes for a curve top, which is the surfboard X Crusher, the original curve top. But while pulling on her leg, she gets super kicked by Naomi. She drops to the floor. BP takes advantage and immediately goes for the pin. 1, 2, as Naomi tries to jump and stop it, Sunny Kiss is holding her back as the ref goes for the final 3 count. BBP are the winners, and the crowd is booing like crazy. They quickly leave the rings and snatch the belt and run off with them.
I'll be honest, I'm not really invested in them as a team or honestly your women's tag team division.
Okay.
Like Lufisto being the big reveal was kind of a dud.
You can't do reveals. There's no mystery reveals. Never pan out.
Yeah, she's the indie legend, Lufisto. So that's why.
Don't say that.
I'll say it again. She's the indie legend.
She's not
Real
CM Punk or
indie.
Samoa Joe.
You know what I like about Kenny? You know what I like about Kenny is Kenny loses with confidence. Like it don't matter what happens, he is confident.
I watch
We
more
could
indie wrestling you guys
we
do.
could all tell him he just had a -5 for his matches, and he'd be like, "Nah, that shit was nice. That shit was nice."
He's a delusional heel. I'm gonna give you a
He's
3.
He's the rude ones.
I'm gonna give you a 3. It was perfect mid.
Oh, I disagree.
I feel like I'm being. That's
I
me
love when
being
Travis
nice.
does that. He just tells you he's about to hate and then he'll go right into it.
I hated this shit. This was what was the match I hated the most so far?
The
I gave it a
Alexa Bliss
1.25.
match.
I don't know. This women shit's not working for you, Kenny. Just drop
You
the
just
whole
don't like
division.
women.
Kenny,
So it is.
you're having the
You
same
don't like
problem I
women.
have, where we
You
should
like to
just
see big buff guys come out real sweaty.
Hey,
That's
I,
what you like.
Kenny.
first
You
off,
like
that's,
you like scoop slams and
I do like a scoop slam.
BD Ben slapping me.
Take
I like tombstone pile drivers too, motherfucker, where they hold them in the air for a little bit.
Take it
And where
from
they-
me. Maybe we should
you
just
like-
admit
you
we're
like
sexist
standing-
and not do this.
he like standing 69. This is what he just said. Between two men. Keep going.
anything
You know who my
wrong
favorite
with that.
wrestler is, by the way? Rikishi.
Somebody big and sweaty. I'm about to say somebody big and sweaty.
Rikishi, I love this finishing maneuver.
Yeah.
Travis felt represented by that.
I did.
Well, Nia Jax supposed to be close to that, so.
Yeah, but I hated this shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I hated this worse than I hated that Alexa Bliss shit. Because I didn't like the story for this either. I didn't like it. This overall, I just don't know what to say to you other than I didn't like it. I'm gonna give you 0.75, and that's because you brought out the indie legend, Lufisto.
There you go.
You get that quarter for that.
That's all we needed.
I didn't like it either, but not to the extent that Travis didn't like it. And this isn't just me trying to cover up my hater tracks. This is like I actually didn't like it, like, but not like I didn't hate it as much as Travis. Like, I wasn't entertained, and I don't care about any of these teams, but I felt like this didn't have anything egregious in it. Like, there was no moment I could point to where, like, okay, this ruined it. There just wasn't any moment in it where I could say, I liked this.
Can you bring out Gringus Locus?
Okay?
Kenny has it. Don't you have? Is that what their name is? What's their name?
What did you say?
I don't know. I said Gringus Locus. What's their name?
Crazy white girls?
Yeah, I was like, he threw me off. That was
do you mean Jelly and
Kika Locus? Yeah. Can we have them out? Because they're actually good.
You said have them out?
Yeah, bring them.
They were in this match.
They were in the match.
Oh, you're right.
It was a 4-way tag match.
You're right.
They just got lost.
Okay. Give you another quarter for that. You get $1.
They just got lost in the show.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would wish they won.
Yeah, me too. I wish it was built around them. There was just a lot going on here. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And I'm gonna give you $1.50. I can't say I enjoyed any of it, but I didn't hate it quite that much.
Okay. So now it's on Mike.
I didn't hate it as much as them, but I didn't love it. I'm gonna go with a 2 1/4.
2 1/4. Okay. All right. So at this point, JTG has already taken out Jeff Hardy week 1 after humiliating him and torturing his family. Week 2, John the Great and Malachi the Carver are in the ring. JTG holding his candlestick smiling. JTG calls for a mic. Before he can speak, Jeff Hardy's music plays. The music keeps going, but nobody comes out. JTG starts cracking up laughing. He's like, I had you people going. Gave you all hope. The White Knight was supposed to come out here and get rid of Big Bad John. Well, he's not. Sorry to burst your bubble, but John the Great prevailed. Nice guys finished last. If you want something, you got to take it. I already got the title. Now it's time for me to have a little fun. The crowd's booing at this point until we hear Eric Bischoff's music hit. After he comes out and says, after what you did to his poor family, you're lucky I don't have you fired. It's one thing to attack a superstar, but you don't attack a civilian. JTG says, see, now I agree with you, but I never attacked a civilian. Malachi kicked her. Jeff hit his own kid. I was just a witness. The crowd boos as JTG smiling. Eric Bischoff gets in his face and says, the only reason I don't fire you right now is because you had that title around your waist. You hear me? You hear me, goddammit? JTG smiles and says, Eric, was that a threat? Woo! Look who took off their kid-sized underwear and revealed some massive balls. You do have stones, huh, Eric? But you messed up. You said I can't be fired because I have the title. So as long as I'm here holding this title, guess what? I'm going to shake some things up. JTG turns around and says, batter up, and cracks Eric in the head with the kendo stick. The crowd's booing like crazy as JTG is pretending like he hit a home run. What am I doing wrestling? Baseball is my true calling. If your head was a ball, that would have been a home run. I got some more things to do. Ta-ta, Eric. Week 3, Eric Bischoff's in the office and says, Jeff, JTG has to go. We have to get him to lose this title. I'm giving you and 2 others a shot at the title. You and Adam Cole seem like the 2 to be able to take it off him. I even pulled some favors on Monday Night Madness and got Johnny Dynamite to join the match. That's John Morrison. Let's get Johnny Dynamite to join the match. It will be an Ultimate X match. At Worlds Collide, JTG loses that title. Week 4, we see JTG with Malachi the Carver versus Sanjay Dutt. JTG does his new finisher, the Beautiful Symphony, which is a crucifix bomb that flips into a cutter. He flips after he hits that move, he pins 1, 2, 3. Sanjay lays there in pain as JTG puts his hand out. The referee gives him the microphone. He says, Jeff Hardy, look what you made me do. The crowd starts booing like crazy as he smiles. I wasn't seen as a threat when I was in that group before, only seen as a joke, a jester of sorts. But now everybody sees me for who I truly am, an artist. My art needs to be analyzed. You see, my art is innovative. It can't be imitated. The great Picasso once said, to draw, you must close your eyes and sing. I want you all to close your eyes with me because at Worlds Collide, I create my next painting as I paint DPW red with Jeff's blood. So now we're in the actual event. Johnny Dynamite comes out in blue tights with white wings on the side and says Flyboy on the side. He does a little slow motion entrance. Adam Cole comes out in black trunks that says Cole Baby and on the back in yellow. Jeff Hardy comes out in black and purple Under Armour with black pants and purple belt. JTG comes out dragging his kendo stick and in a dirty brown denim jacket and dirty brown jeans. The match starts off with JTG hitting Jeff Hardy with a sling blade, then gets forearm shots by both Dynamite and Adam Cole after. At one point, JTG is on the cable moving, but gets grabbed by Adam Cole. He ends up pulling JTG off and ends up in a powerbomb position. And Johnny Dynamite climbs the top rope, then hits a drop kick on JTG that helps Cole powerbomb him. At one point, Jeff Hardy runs across the apron, does a whisper in the wind off the ring post to Cole on the outside. At one point, Dynamite hits a Fosbury flop to JTG on the outside. At one point, Hardy goes for a whisper in the wind, but JTG hits him with a drop kick that drops him. As Jeff is in pain, JTG grabs the kendo stick. He steps on Jeff's hand as Jeff screams out in pain. JTG raises the kendo stick, but gets drop kicked from behind by Adam Cole. At one point, Dynamite's body is wrapped around the cable, like he's got it, like he's like literally like clutching the cable. Adam Cole is climbing and is kicking Dynamite in his back, and he gets kicked in the back so much that he ends up letting go and he falls. At one point, JTG and Jeff Hardy swing on each other outside the ring. And in ring, Adam Cole does a super hurricane run into Johnny Dynamite. Dynamite lands on his feet, and he stands there as the crowd cheers, and he runs it as a corkscrew plancha to JTG and Jeff Hardy on the outside. At one point, JTG spears Dynamite at one point, and Dynamite flips, telling how strong it was. At one point, Dynamite Irish whips JTG to the corner. Dynamite sprints at him. JTG pulls himself up and tries to kick him in the chest with both feet, but Dynamite catches his feet and throws his leg on the middle rope. While he sits there, Dynamite sprints and does a German suplex while sliding out of the ring at the same time. Jeff Hardy climbs the top rope and does a taunt for the Swanton bomb. The crowd cheers and he stops and looks up. He climbs up higher on the metal, does a Swanton bomb off of there. At one point, JTG goes for the beautiful symphony off the top rope to Dynamite, but wiggles out of it and goes for a neck break off the top rope. And Jeff Hardy is hanging from the cables, headed towards the X. Malachi Carver sprints down the ring and pulls his legs. Jeff is falling down, and Malachi hits him with a black mass on the way down. Jeff is knocked out. Adam Cole's on the cables, and JTG is underneath him trying to powerbomb him. And as he leans back, Dynamite runs up his body and German suplexes Cole as the crowd chants, "Holy shit!" And then Malachi Carver slides out of the ring, pushes JTG into the ring. He then lifts JTG up on his shoulders, and barely conscious, he uses the last of his energy to grab the belt and rips it down. The crowd boos. He comes down on his shoulders, and he's holding the cruiserweight belt. Malachi grabs a mic and hands it to John the Great, and he says, "I've got no strings to hold me down, to make me fret, to make me frown. I have no strings. I had strings, but now I'm free. Ain't no strings on me." As the crowd's booing him like crazy, and he's holding the belt, like barely like conscious, just holding the belt.
I feel like Kenny just wanted to sing tonight.
There's no singing more. That's by the way.
He just sang the fuck. What is that commercial? What the might be bugs on some of your mugs, but there ain't no bugs on me. Like
ain't no strings on me though.
Yeah, it's Pinocchio or not? Is it
Pinocchio? It's Pinocchio. Yeah,
because they used it for Age of Ultron. I don't have a problem with anything you did. I actually like all of it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you a 5.
Thank you.
I agree. I liked all of it. I'm also giving you a 5.
Thank you.
I'm close, but there's only one issue that I didn't like. Is that I feel like this should have just been JTG and Jeff Hardy.
I can see that.
I feel like the other two being added was just really. There was no reason. Like there was a reason, like a kayfabe reason, but it felt like just a shoehorn reason to add two good wrestlers to the match.
More spots.
Yeah, but other than that, I liked it a lot. It's by far the best thing going. I'm gonna give this a 4.5.
I'll give you a 5.
Okay, thank you.
Damn.
Yeah.
Back to my hating ass ways.
I've been the hater all fucking night.
I know.
You've let me take the heat for everything.
Okay.
Man, I'm trying to change my ways.
Why? Give them the grades they deserve.
Trying to change. Right. Be a better person. I'm trying to be nice, Pot.
This is my
you're hoping they're going to grade your show better, but then they're going to give you 0.5s, and you're going to be like, damn, what did I do this for?
I'm trying to be nice, Pot. I'm changing my ways.
This is my co-main event right here. So After getting shoulder checked by Jade Cargo week 1, Tony's confused on disrespect from Jade. Week 2, Joe Rogan says, we're about to watch the Japanese import Hikaru Shida go up against our most insane female, Serena Deeb, in a death match. Yes, a death match on regular TV. The match ends with the superplex through a glass table for Serena to get the win. She gets on the mic and says, Tony Storm, I have been dominating from promotion to promotion. I want what's on your waist. You aren't a good wrestler. You're terrible. You can't last stamina-wise. You're a V6. You can't keep up in the race. I want to do everyone a favor and retire you. You don't belong here with the rest of the competitors. I've battled the best in the world. I want that title around your waist. Give me what I want, and I'll leave you alone. And does the title motion with their hands. Week 3, Lauren Thompson tries to interview Serena Deeb for her match with Ty Conti. Serena looks at her and says, it's a shame what happened to Ty, then walks out to the ring. Lauren confused at the statement, is like, what? When Ty walks up to the ring for the match, she gets hit from behind with a steel chair by Serena. Serena continues to hit her in the back while she's on the ground. While Ty is screaming in pain, Serena grabs her and pulls out a Sharpie out of her pocket and writes slut across her forehead. As Ty is crawling away, Serena kicks her in the gut. Ty screaming out in pain. Serena places her arm in a chair and continues to stomp on it while the crowd is booing. She puts the chair on her neck this time now, and before she's about to stomp, Tony Storm's music hits. She backs up and laughs as Tony comes to Ty's aid. And then week 4, Tony Storm is in the ring with Serena. Serena says, give me what I want, and I'll leave you alone. She eyes the title, and Tony says, you want the match? You got it, bitch. Tony Storm in a death match for the women's championship. I'll see you there. So Serena's coming out in the match in light blue top, light blue bottoms. Tony comes out in black leggings and black top. The match starts when they get into a stiff punch exchange that ends in Tony headbutting Serena and German suplexes her. At one point, Serena hits sitting on the top rope facing the crowd. Tony does a springboard cartwheel powerbomb. I don't know how to explain that, but it's like she springboards off and then like turns her body like this to finish the powerbomb. I've seen it done before. I just can't think of how to describe it on here.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Basically, Serena's sitting on the top rope facing the crowd.
Okay.
Tony springboards off the bottom rope and then turns her body like this, and then kind of turns to like a sunset flip kind of thing, or like a sit out power bomb kind of. I don't know how to explain it, but you kind of like turns her body
like a cartwheel.
Yeah, like a cartwheel, but like a power bomb at the same time. It's like a cartwheel, and like
in
the air she's
how
doing a
that
power
would work.
bomb.
Like a cartwheel into a power bomb.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's just
you see springboards, cartwheels, power bomb.
Yeah, all in one motion. But it's just like that.
Okay.
I've seen it done before. Like
I can picture it in my.
You can picture it.
Yeah, I can picture.
Okay, as long as you can picture it. That's what I was trying. It was hard for me to explain it, but I was like, I want that spot in this match. Tony goes for a running hip attack to Serena in the corner, but Serena catches her and walks with her while she's suspended in the air. The German suplexes her in the corner. At one point, Serena does a stiff power driver off the apron. Serena goes for a crucifix bomb to Tony to the crowd, but Tony wiggles out of it, hits a stiff lariat. Tony's getting beat up ringside, and Serena grabs popcorn from the person in the front row. She's like eating a couple pieces, then pours it on Tony and stomps her some more. Tony's crawling, and half her body is under the ring at one point. Serena grabs her ankle and pulls her to reveal Tony with the fire extinguisher. She sprays her in the face as the crowd cheers. At one point, Tony sets up a table in the corner, but when she turns around, she gets speared through it. At one point, Tony sat on a chair in the middle of the ring. Serena does like a senton bomb off the turnbuckle, but Tony moves out of the way and she goes through she's pretty much smacks against the chair. Outside the ring, there's a ladder that is put up by Tony. Tony puts it over and it cracks Serena on top of the head. The blood's leaking from the top of her head and begins to cover her face. Tony tries to pick Serena up, but is met with a stiff punch from Serena. Serena gets up and we see a close-up shot to see Serena's crimson mask and the blood's like dripping from her chin.
What busted her open again?
She pushed the ladder over and the ladder like cracked on top of her head and we've seen the blood coming down like this. So it's coming pouring over her face at this point. At one point, Tony is trying to get back in the ring and Serena grabs her in a DDT position, then does a tornado DDT through the ropes and to the outside. We see Serena reaches underneath the apron, starts smiling. She pulls out a fluorescent light tube as the crowd cheers, and she holds it up in the air like this. And when she pulls, so when she goes to swing at her, Tony headbutts her real quick and grabs the tube and kicks her in the stomach. And when Serena's bent over, Tony cracks it across her back to a loud applause from the audience. At one point, Tony goes for a Top Con Hilo, but Serena catches her in the powerbomb position. She lets her torso drop, and then she swings her body towards the barricade in a stiff fashion. And at one point, Toni bridged the table between the apron and barricade. The table was flipped wrong side up. She powerbombed Serena through the table as they both lay there, both of them favoring the back, and the crowd's chanting, "Holy shit." The match ends with Toni hitting a Storm Zero, which is a Tiger Bomb, off the top rope through a table for the win. So Toni retains against our hardcore Serena Deeb.
Okay. I don't know. How many matches you got after this?
No, this the co-main event, so I got one more.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
I didn't necessarily need you to go to flesh burning and stuff like that, but this didn't necessarily feel like it. I know you did the one light tube spot and you had through the table and stuff like that, but it didn't really feel like a death match per se, just a hardcore match.
You know, I'm all about the hardcore. I don't really deathmatch ain't really my thing. That's disgusting to me.
Yeah, it felt just like a hardcore match, and you just put death. You just called it a death match.
To be
That's
fair,
exactly
that was the
what
only
happened.
name that he could draft for it. So.
For real. Y'all draft Extreme Rules, hardcore.
He's worked with what he has.
You could have traded for it. I gave it to Mike for free, or I got it from Travis, and then I just gave it to Mike.
You
I
didn't get it for me.
I wasn't that pressed on it. I wasn't going to use it.
I got it.
Oh, hardcore you did. You're right.
Yeah,
I was thinking
hardcore,
death match.
So now I have it.
Yeah. I would have rather you gave me giving me the death match so I could have been the only one with the death match.
I don't want that nasty ass shit to happen on my show.
I'll be honest with you though, I did draft 4 variations of the same match.
You did.
And I'll do it again, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. That's strategic as fuck.
I'm gonna give this a 3. Yeah, 3. It was I'm not super invested in this story.
Yeah. And
the match was okay. It was above average. It's a good hardcore match. I wouldn't say it's a death match. So
yeah, we do hardcore matches here. Our death match is gonna be like that. I'm just letting you know that it's not gonna be pizza cutters and weed whackers. I'm not into that.
Weed whacker.
Yeah, CZW was doing stuff like that. I'm not into that.
I'm not into that either. You know, me, you, and John are gonna be over here
yo got weak stomachs.
I do have a weak stomach. You're right.
Soft teeth and weak stomachs.
Damone, you got one more time to tell me I got soft teeth, and I'm gonna beat your ass in Oklahoma City. I'm sick of this shit.
You finally broke him, Damone. You found the weak spot. His soft teeth.
Hey, John, don't get beat up too trying to be funny. No,
All
I'm
right.
kidding. I'm gonna give you a 2.5. I don't really have a whole lot to say because I feel like that's the gist of this story. There's not a whole lot to say.
Okay. I'm not mad at it.
This match kind of wore me out a little bit. If I'm watching the show, I'm like, can we get to the main event kind of thing?
Yeah, I feel like you had a little too much.
I'm a little bit exhausted by this match. It's not bad. Not for me, really.
Okay.
I'm going to give this a 3. It's mid.
Have any of these matches been for you?
Well, I mean, the Money in the Bank ideally should have been for me. There was the talent in it in the match should have been for me. Kyle O'Reilly to fucking apron ain't for me. Yeah, I'm giving this a 3.
Would you rather Chef Boy O'Reilly win or Brock Lesnar win?
Journeyman Jobber Lesnar or real life Lesnar?
Real life Lesnar.
I'm going with Apron O'Reilly then.
There you go. Mike, what you got for me?
I'm gonna give you a 3.5.
3.5. Okay. Thank you. All right, now for the main event. So Eric Bischoff says it wouldn't be Worlds Collide if we didn't go all out. Now, if you didn't know, we have 5 of the top 6 PWI 500 wrestlers of 2021 in our brand. Only Dynamite Pro Wrestling can do this. And just to give the fans what they want, we have your number 1 PWI 500 DPW champion, the cleaner himself, Kenny Omega, go up against the number 2 PWI 500 DPW World Heavyweight Champion, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. I plan on unifying the titles at Worlds Collide and bring you the DPW and the Undisputed Champion. Truly, Worlds will collide as we have the best versus the best. Week 1 on Monday Night Madness, Roman Reigns defeated Bobby Lashley in a no-holds-barred match that we saw the entire arena pretty much get decimated in the process. And Kenny Omega defeated Bret Hart to kick off the show on Thursday Night Throwdown. So now in week 2 on Monday Night Madness, Roman Reigns opens up the show with Brooklyn, acknowledge me. I can't really do an impression today because my damn throat. Acknowledge your tribal chief. The crowd starts booing. Now when I speak, you listen. The crowd boos even louder. When the crowd settled down, Roman says, so a little birdie told me that I have to put up my title against Kenny Omega. Kenny couldn't even be a cleaner for the tribal chief. I run this company, boy. The air at the top was very thin, and it's hard to breathe when you're up here if you're not used to it. A wise man once said, beat me if you can, survive if I let you. Well, I say, you set him up, I knock him down. No one beats the tribal chief. So JBL on commentary says, Thursday Night Throwdown is another thing coming, messing with our champion. If you come for the tribal chief, you best not miss because you might not get another chance. Week 2 on Thursday Night Throwdown, Kenny Omega defeats Jim Neidhart in the main event of Thursday Night Throwdown. He grabs the microphone after beating him with a sharpshooter in disrespectful fashion. After Neidhart taps, Kenny calls for microphone. He says, I retired Brett. I just beat his kin. I'm the face of Canada. Kings have fallen throughout history. This is one trend that won't die out. Roman Reigns, growing up, when you prayed for safety from those monsters under the bed, you weren't wrong. Monsters were alive. Monsters were real. I was under there. I'm that monster. The Canadian monster is here. The Canadian monster will take over DPW. Monsters rule this world, so I say this, DPW. At Worlds Collide, a monster will become a king. So look at your king. Look at your king. I will take out the tribal chief and accept the crown, so you might as well accept me as your king. And as your king, I ask one thing. All I ask is that you bend a knee. Snoop Dogg says, this is like Freddie versus Jason right here. No matter who wins, we all lose. These two evil men going at it is going to be chaotic for the future of DPW. Week 3 on Monday Night Madness, we finally get Roman Reigns and Kenny Omega face-to-face talking. Kenny Omega gets on the mic and says, Minnesota, DPW, Roman Reigns, acknowledge me. Roman smiles at the imitation Omega's doing. Ladies and gentlemen, my opponent at Worlds Collide, DPW heavyweight champion Roman Reigns. Give him a round of applause. How does it feel to be face-to-face with a wrestling king, the DPW champion, Kenny Omega? I told Eric Bischoff, give the guy a chance. I think he can hang with me now. I made that call. I said, get that lame-ass Roman Reigns in the ring. He has my other title. I need that. It's strap season. I need to add another. I've done it before, and I'll do it again. Roman is just another check off the old clipboard. Look at me when I'm talking to you, King. Because next time you look away from me, you'll be looking up at me. Knock the fuck out. I'm the cleaner, and I'll mop the floor with your ass. Roman sarcastically claps and says, that was cute. Real cute. But let's be real. I'm stronger than you. I'm faster than you. And look a whole lot better with this gold around my waist. Now, I know you've collected titles before. At Worlds Collide is the Roman Reigns show featuring Kenny Omega. I'm going to get you the hell out of here. Then the next chump will take your spot. Maybe after I beat you, I can go to another brand and beat up a white guy with dreads and nasty looking face paint. This is my house. I laid back with my feet kicked up because this is all mine. He pulls out a cross necklace out of his pocket. You know what this means? This means I can do evil things to you. But as long as I pray afterwards, God will forgive me for what I'll do to you at Worlds Collide. At this point, they can be seen arguing but can't be heard since the microphones aren't in their face anymore. Roman hits him, and then they get into an elbow smash battle until Omega clotheslines Roman out of the ring. Kenny throws him over the barricade. He gets hype until Roman runs from the crowd and does a Superman punch over the barricade and hits Kenny Omega. Security rush in and hold the two wrestlers back. And then now we're in week 4. Week 4, there was a 6-man tag match between the Elite and the Bloodline. Match starts with the Usos and the Young Bucks going for super kicks at the same time and stop halfway. They both give each other respect. And every time Roman Reigns is about to face Kenny Omega, one of the Young Bucks will tag themselves in, teasing the crowd for the match. The match ends with Roman spearing both the Young Bucks at the same time outside the ring and ends in a countout, disqualifying both teams. Roman is pissed that he tied with Omega and gets in his face. They're yelling back and forth until Omega swings on him, and then they both get into another punch exchange that ends in carnage and security storming the arena. So now we're at the actual event. We hear Godzilla music play, and we see a makeshift Japanese city. We see the tallest building get stepped on, and we see the camera pan up, and it's Kenny Omega in green Godzilla-inspired tights with Omega signs on the side. The Great Muta walking beside him in the ring, or to the ring. Then we see the lights go out. We hear Roman Reigns music play. The Usos, Alpha and Sika walk out, and we see the lights go out and the silhouettes of all of them. Roman Reigns is behind them with Rikishi holding the belt. All we can see is their silhouettes in darkness, and red illuminates through the arena. The lights come on. They all drop to a knee for their tribal chief before he steps into the ring. It is revealed that Roman has a torch in his hand. He reaches out for the belt with his free hand, blows fire as the crowd cheers. He gets in the ring holding his belt. As the bell rings, the two titans stare each other down. Joe Rogan says, I hear Final Boss music playing. This is epic. One of these men will be leaving here with both titles tonight, and the other will leave with nothing. They get into an elbow smash battle, and it ends with Omega getting clothesline out of the ring. Omega's head is resting on the steel steps. Roman runs and does a drive-by kick, bouncing his head off the post. One point, Omega's on the apron. Roman gets on the bottom rope and uses strength, suplexes him from that position. Omega hits a super kick to Roman. At one point, Roman goes for a spear, but Omega hits a V trigger that lays him out. He goes for the pin. 1, 2. Reigns uses a little bit of energy he has left to kick out. Roman hits a T-bone suplex to Omega into the turnbuckle. At one point, Omega's on the apron while Roman sits on the top rope. He hits an iconoclasm onto the apron. Roman clotheslines Omega over the barricade. He starts talking to the Chicago crowd as he climbs the barricade. He says, shut the hell up, Chicago. Don't cheer for this asshole. You will acknowledge me. Acknowledge your champ, Chicago. Roman keeps elbow smashing Omega up the steps, and until Omega shoves him back. Roman goes back a little while Omega descends the steps. Roman looks at his fist and looks back at Kenny. He sprints and does a Superman punch off the steps. As the crowd goes crazy, Roman yells, shut your mouth, Chicago. Keep that same energy you had. You hate me, right? Respect your tribal chief. Roman hits the Rikishi driver through the announce table. At one point, Roman is in front of the turnbuckle and goes, ooh, ah. He goes for the spear, and Omega moves out of the way, and Roman's shoulder hits the post. Omega quickly sits Roman on the second turnbuckle. Omega climbs up and hits Roman with a diving foot stamp to the back of his head. He goes for the pin, but we see the way Roman landed, his legs on the ropes. At one point, Omega goes for the German suplex, but Roman jumps in the air and does a wheelbarrow snapmare. But Omega lands on his hands and does a handspring 180 V trigger. The crowd chants "Holy shit" as he rushes for the pin. Reigns kicks out at 2.5 as Omega looks off in confusion. While Roman is laid out, Omega walks to the top half of his body. He kicks Roman's arm and pretends to throw an elbow pad into the crowd. Crowd gets hyped, realizing what he's doing. He runs to the ropes, bouncing off, and Roman pops up and does a rock bottom. He goes for the pin. 1, 2, Omega kicks out. Roman goes for the reverse super Hurricane Rana to Omega on the top turnbuckle, but Omega plants his feet while leaving Roman's torso hanging out. He flings him forward, so he's in electric chair position, and tosses him in the air into a German suplex. So it's pretty much like an avalanche, Kreutz Wrath, I think is how you call it, Kreutz Wrath. He lays on top of him for the pin. 1, 2, Roman kicks out. Omega looks pissed as Roman laying there breathing heavy. And then Roman does a pop-up Samoan drop in order to come back. Roman starts getting a second win. He cocks his wrist and does taunt signaling for a Superman punch. He goes for a Superman punch, but Omega hits a V trigger to his chest at the same time. They both lay there as the crowd's going crazy. The ref is slowly counting to 10 as they both get up. The crowd's cheering. They both run at each other, and Roman does the jumping guillotine. And Roman's locking it in as Omega's drifting off. The ref grabs Omega's arm, lifts it, and it drops. He does it again, and it drops. The third time he does it, it drops one last time. Omega has passed out, making Roman the winner of both DPW champion and the DP World Championship. Roman lays there in exhaustion. The crowd cheers as the Usos get in the ring and help him up as he holds both titles up in aggravating pain. He then walks up the ramp and holds the belts up one last time.
So the right person won.
Okay.
But I don't like that they were both heels. I feel like you should have had Omega be the baby face to Roman's heel. Yeah. I feel like Omega's a better baby face. I hated Belt Collector Omega. I already think Omega's mid, and I didn't like him as the Belt Collector. And
well, this one he's something different. And then
I know
they were both heels going in, but Roman is slowly turning into the face as the match goes on. That's what it's supposed to be like. We see the shift towards the match, like midway through the match.
Yeah. I would have rather you just have Omega going in as the baby face, Roman as the heel. I think that would have been better. Yeah. I think the match itself is good. The right person won. So I'm gonna give you 3.75.
Okay.
I actually disagree that the right person won, and I do like Roman better than Omega. However, I feel like having Roman win the Undisputed Championship in this right after it happens in real life is a little bit corny.
Well, okay. I said WWE copied me because I made this months ago. I made this a long time ago.
To be fair, WWE have been planning this through the dirt sheets like a year ago, but I'll give you a
more
little
like
bit
the
of a pass
door
on that.
sheets.
Tell him, Damone.
I'll not knock you as
I
much
hate
for that
both
then
of
if
you.
you already but it feels too real life WWE for me. It's almost like what if I had Randy Orton and Matt Riddle be a tag team? Wouldn't that be sick? You know what I mean?
I like I said, I made all this stuff right after we did that draft. So like I said, all this stuff. I told you there's some parts where it's gonna seem like I copied, but like I said, I had been made some of this stuff.
So I will. I do agree with all Damone's criticisms. There was no babyface in the match, and that felt kind of weird. It's too big of a match to not have one.
Yeah. Feels like GM mode all over again. Keep going.
Yeah. Other than that, it's fine. So I'm gonna be just below Damone with a 3.5.
Okay. Travis or Mike, one of you?
I agree with what John said. I'm gonna give you a 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
I'm gonna give you a 3.75.
Thank you. All right, yep, that's the end right there. Like I said, that's the final shot was Roman Reigns holding up both belts, just like in real life.
Man gave us the Vince special.
I did. Like I said, when I saw it happen, I was pissed. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, they're gonna think I copied.
And
but I'm not changing shit.
Hey, we all acknowledge your tribal chief at the end.
Next week, Lil Fudge is
Taboo Tuesday.
he's doing his.
Yep.
And then after that, Damone, and then me, and then Travis.
Yep.
Cyber Sunday for me.
All right. Let's go ahead and do plugs. Lil Fudge.
If you would like to see some degenerate shit posting, then you can go to Twitter and type in @LilXFudge, and you can see my horrible opinions.
Bad guy.
I do podcasts and stuff. Bad Guy Spoken on every social media.
Travis.
Follow me on all social media @IamTravvyT. That's @IamTravvyT. And that's it.
Damone.
I be tweeting, I be TikToking. You can follow me on both at DumbMoneyT13. That's DAMONEYT13. Also, I'm uploading D Money, which is me, to community creation, so it'll be up tomorrow some point.
Let's go.
You can find me on Twitter, hi-fi_Mike. You can find all the shows on the T13 Media Network on our website at t13media.com. It's the letter T, the number 1, 3 spelled out, media.com. Rate and review us on Apple and Spotify. 5s or fuck off.
Yep, the golden rule: 5 or fuck off.
And that's Book It. See ya.
Bye.